What is going on? We are live. Tornado Tag Podcast, episode 162. Yep, 162. We're going to be covering AEW. I kind of fucked up the title. We just talked about it as I was playing the intro.
Nobody knows.
Our main topic is still Forbidden Door, but we're going to do a highlight on Tanahashi. So if you're like me, who never really watched too much New Japan wrestling, you're going to learn a little bit of that guy in your main event. So we will be closing the show out with some Tanahashi history. Some stuff that even you guys found out about.
We're going to talk about when he got stabbed.
Yeah.
There's a teaser for you. He got stabbed.
Did he go to Mexico?
Not by New Jack.
No, in Japan.
Not by New Jack.
Well, didn't what's his name die in Mexico?
No, it was Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Did he go to Puerto Rico?
Bro,
Yeah.
Puerto Rico.
Plenty of people died in Mexico.
Yeah. Lots of guys.
Yeah, it was my Brucey Brodery fuck up right there. But anyway, check out IWGPnetwork.com. Follow us on all social media. Give us that love. We have a lot of people hopefully in the chat. If you are watching live, type in the chat. We'll interact with all you guys. First one already there is Drew Renson saying, "What's up? What's going on, man?" We have a lot of new followers and listeners, hopefully from the TikTok side of things. We've been doing pretty well over there.
Yeah, I noticed we're only like 40 or
Yeah, we're less than
40,
50 away from
less
1K.
than 50. Yeah,
Wow.
that's a better way of saying it. Less than
Everything's
50.
very convenient on your phone, so TikTok is just that perfect platform.
It's just
Kids
easy.
today with
It's
their
easy to
TikTok.
consume.
Mm.
Easy to consume. And the community there is fucking awesome. I was out yesterday with Heidi and we went to go get dinner and stuff, and we were out enjoying the day, and I was unfortunately on my phone. She kept fucking giving me the look. But every time I looked down, I was like, "You've been tagged in the video. You've been tagged in the video. You've been tagged in the video." And I was like, "What the fuck is happening?" And all these people made like duets of like, "Go follow this account. Go follow this account." So they showed us tons of love. If you are a professional wrestling fan, I'm telling you, TikTok is a place to be because there's a lot of really good content creators, and they have fun conversations, and it's an easy way to consume some media,
Especially right now.
and it's very positive for the most part too.
I thought
Like,
you were going to say consume some meat. What?
Oh, then I'll download it.
yeah.
You can get free meat.
If you're
Free
feeding
bacon.
Andy, if you're feeding Andy steak, that he'll download
It's
it.
like Omaha Steaks, but a social network.
Yeah, there you go.
There you
Also
go.
in the chat is Lyra. She said, "What's going on? What's happening?" And Sharon says, "Did Austin dye his hair?"
No.
It's the summer.
She asked me
Oh,
that when I
oh.
just visited them.
If you look on the
Really.
computer, it looks like it's reddish.
It does a little bit.
From the
Oh,
light.
It's
the
the
red, there's a
light.
red light.
It's the
So
light,
I-
but he looks like he has the Okada hair. A
I
little bit.
did dye my hair red when I was a senior in high school. So I don't know if it's still like remnants
No,
of it.
it's
No, it's the red
it's
light.
the
How
light.
long ago was that?
Yeah,
Some good
But-
dye.
It's seeped
2
into my
weeks.
brain at this point.
lights, dude.
yeah. But we do
Look at
have
the lights, brother.
We do have Patreon. If you want to subscribe or do that, we have the tip thing in the links below, as well as merchandise. If you want to grab some cool merchandise, you can support the podcast with that. It helps pay some bills. It's completely up to you. If you don't have money, I completely understand. You know what you can do?
Tell
You can
money,
fo-
get a job.
Yeah, you can follow us. You can follow us on social media, or you can hit that share button, let people know we exist.
Or robbery.
Or
Yeah.
rob- you can rob people.
And
Yeah.
send
Like
us the
Nick
money.
Gage.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could be a bank addicted drug robber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not necessarily advocating.
Oh, I am.
We're just saying.
I'm advocating robbery to give us money.
No, you're good.
I'm not responsible for your actions, but I'm advocating it.
Yeah,
You could get a job doing jobs. So
depends on what types of jobs.
wrestling job.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
that's
you
a- no, yeah.
other types of.
You can
No.
count the lights.
Anyway, let's get into this week in wrestling. What news we got? Not as busy as
I don't think we'll ever have a week as busy
Yeah.
as last
Last
week.
week was very busy.
Hannah.
Yeah.
That- we could have did a whole episode on this week in
Yeah.
wrestling.
First off, coming off of last week's news and the scandal with Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis. Unlike Vince McMahon, the scandal, or like Vince McMahon, I should say, the scandal's not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Vince is going to show up on it. I'm
Even if you
surprised.
cut a promo, it's still.
I'm
there.
surprised he wasn't on NXT. But that would mean he would acknowledge NXT exists.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'd have to know it. It's a thing.
Oh, he knows.
Yeah.
He knows. But anyway, John Laurinaitis, the other WWE executive embroiled in the scandal, has been placed on administrative leave and replaced by none other than Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
No more people power.
Yeah.
No team.
Well, here's the
Now
thing.
it's all about the love.
But like, doesn't he have enough to do? Now you're gonna throw that on Bruce?
Well, how much are they really doing?
a lot. Oh, they work.
Bruce
a
works all
lot.
day long.
Yeah.
But
They work
imagine
a
booking the
lot.
show, then rebooking it, and then rebooking it.
I know what
again.
you're thinking. Well, how can you work that much and the show is that bad?
Yeah, they
Oh,
do.
you can.
Yeah.
You can.
Bruce is
Maybe he's
always
overworking. it.
tired, but
Well, no, they work it, and then they show up and like, here's our homework. And he's just like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Try it again.
Try it again.
Well, I was on the Tantalizing Tony live stream the past couple of days. I did miss the last.
What's on that?
I missed the last two shows because
Not what you think.
That's
Yeah.
a social network where you get the meat.
Yeah.
It's another content creator that we've been collaborating with.
He was at PPW a few weeks ago.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Very nice guy.
So yeah, and I kind of said I think the whole Vince thing is putting Stephanie in charge, just a focal point to be like, hey, look, a woman's in charge.
Oh no, it's a work.
It is
what we call in the wrestling
he's
business
not.
a work.
He's not giving anything.
It's
up.
just for show.
Yeah, it's a complete show.
It's literally like a paper move in any other
It's
business.
literally what
In fact, Vince tells you to do something, you're back. Hey, you ain't the boss no more.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
No one's doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so John Laurinaitis is stepping away for a minute.
Well, he's on administrative leave, and somebody came to the performance center and said they're back, and that is Triple H.
Mm-hmm. So
What
hopefully
that winds up
NXT
meeting?
will be good again.
Oh,
Maybe.
now hang on a second.
It could be good again.
Remember when you used to wait for NXT and said every match is gonna be great? And
Yeah.
I don't know which match is gonna be the best. When was the last time you felt like that? Quite a while.
It was back when it was still.
That's all I gotta
black and
say.
gold.
Do
Yeah.
their pay-per-views count?
Yes.
Yeah, not,
Okay.
there are great matches on the pay-per-views, but not every
Yeah.
match.
Yeah.
No, that one.
I'm talking when
the-
like Gargano and
Yeah.
Ciampa and all that. And FTR versus
Anyone?
And I'm talking- I'm talking way back
Mustache
when it was-
Mountain as well.
Yeah.
But it's just it's a different era. It's NXT 2.0.
Which
Well, I agree. It is.
I
It is.
I did watch this week. I tuned
I
in.
watched a little bit. There were some things that were okay, and then there was the Lash Legend match.
I think that was the only-
She doesn't belong on TV.
Oh, I thought Lash Legend was a guy.
No,
I've never seen the person.
She's a WNBA player.
Oh.
she former basketball player.
Yes, you did. She was in that awful.
She was-
running
yeah.
the ropes.
Oh,
with that
with Nikita. Oh,
line up.
I didn't know that was her.
Yeah, she was the other one.
Oh,
She's the one that Nikki that all the heat fell on Nikki.
yeah.
Apparently, like Lash Legend has set like every record within like the WWE training combine when it comes to athletics, but it hasn't translated yet.
I mean,
in
you could be
ring.
really great athletics, awesome, and
Yeah.
then be a shitty wrestler.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not.
It takes a perfect combination to be a good wrestler.
Yeah.
And it takes time, and unfortunately, I'm not saying she's never going to be good.
Mhm.
One person they said was, and I forget who said this, but they said they looked at him when he was coming to Harley Race's camp to become part of the Harley Race's team in St. Louis. And they said, this may be the worst wrestler I ever saw. And he turned out to be great after a few years with Harley, was Nigel McGuinness.
Oh wow, how about
Yeah.
that?
Nigel McGuinness, one of the greatest ROH champions there ever was.
No one's greater off the bat except
yeah.
Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
I will say the women's tag team match that show is fucking awesome.
Oh.
Caden Carter is very good.
Yeah.
I
Caden
just
Carter's
wish they
very-
had an actual personality. I can't get into that.
Was she
Yeah, their in-ring
she
stuff
was,
is
like-
fine.
what's her name
Lacey
before?
Lennox or something like that.
Yeah, she looks like she's the black girl with the dreads and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
blonde
She's,
dreads. Yeah,
black
looks
and
like a Mortal
Filipino.
Kombat character.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Yeah.
She's excellent.
Yeah, she seemed pretty good back when I seen her before,
Yeah.
and that's a while ago.
She's like my NXT crush, I think.
Like a lot of NXT 2.0 is very eccentric with their characters and very bright and over the top, and then it's them, and the only thing they have is their in-ring stuff for me. Like,
Yeah.
that's one thing I will harp on is that they don't feel important on the show at all.
No one feels important on the show to me, really.
Which
Yeah.
is-
I would
What's his
disagree.
name?
Maybe
Carmelo
maybe
Hayes.
Maybe this new NXT is gearing itself towards a younger generation like Austin.
What?
Absolutely.
What if Triple H takes over and just in 2 weeks, old logo, everything back,
Everything back.
Say a
Gargano
word.
comes
That's
out.
exactly-
Hey, did you miss me? Yes,
Yes.
we did.
Yeah.
We
That's
did,
exactly
Johnny.
what I thought too. I was like,
Everyone got
I
their
still
old
think
names
I
back.
still think if he still had that the roster he has and just maybe change the look up in the feel a little bit, I still think it'd be a good show. I still think they have very talented people they could work with.
I think it's the fact that
They're
they
not
went-
as talented as they used to be.
Yeah, they went
Oh, of
from
course not. It's
one.
like saying ROH is the same ROH when everybody went to AEW.
Yeah.
When you drain the pool of all your top people and you're like, hey, people who are not ready yet, go
The only
go be
difference
the
is
same thing. It's never going to happen.
Besides like 2 or 3 people, WWE is the one that pulled the drain.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
they went from A to C without really that much of a B. The
Yeah.
only B, the transition, was Carmelo Hayes winning the breakout tournament. That was the only transition I remember.
And the only guy who's really on the show now who's been there probably since the end of Black and Gold till now is Cameron Grimes,
Yeah,
he's
Roddy.
fucking fantastic. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
Roddy.
Roddy's still floating around.
But I mean-
maybe 1 or 2 of the girls. Io, if she counts. No, she's been
Yeah,
out
it's been
forever.
on a
She's
while.
been fucking missing in
Yeah.
action.
Well, Kaylee Ray's still around, but she changed her name. She's Alba Fire.
Oh,
speaking
that's
of a new
horrible
name,
And
speaking of
Katana
a new
Chance
name,
instead of Casey Catanzaro.
That's an awful name too.
superstar who is traveling the pond
Yeah.
via car.
Yeah. What's his new name? JD what?
JD McDonough.
Yeah, formerly Jordan Devlin.
Wow.
He's in a car. He's from Ireland. He's in a car and he's driving to NXT. So he's going to be driving from Ireland to Florida,
Mhm.
which is going to be hard
mhm.
That's gonna be a tough trip.
unless his car can turn into a boat. Which In NXT, I can believe somebody's gimmick would be they're a guy who has a car that can turn into a boat.
That's
would
That's
fit
his
right in.
profile.
Man, if that
Look
is
at
his
Austin's
gimmick,
excited
I'm
for it
so
already.
into it.
Apollo Cruz's gimmick is he is Luke Cage, but he can see forward in time.
Is that what they're doing? Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
much.
Yeah.
I'm not
No.
familiar
I'm
with the
not
Luke
wrestling
Cage
this match
gimmick.
because I know I'm losing it.
Yeah.
Character.
He'll do a thing where he's like his vignette this week is he's going into a dark alley.
Oh, God.
Or no, he's walking by a dark alley, and so he's like, "Don't go down there; it's dangerous." And then you see a cut because this is wrestling, and there's cuts now, and cinematic shots. And he walks down the alley, and there's somebody giving somebody a hard time, and Apollo Crews beats them up. And then we flash back, and it was all in Apollo's head. It didn't really happen because he's still with the guy, and he's like, "Don't go down there.
So
it's
now
dangerous."
we get see into people's heads.
So we have traumatic Apollo Crews.
Yeah.
We've gone from Nigerian like Lord Intercontinental Champion to
Well, my theory is, and I have a theory because I can make.
is
this
it the
make
United
sense.
States Champion?
No, different theory. And I would have liked his name if he was Hypothesis in NXT, and then he could be Theory on the main roster.
I like that.
But
in conclusion when he
I'm gonna
retires.
yes, that's when he goes in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
My theory is that Apollo Crews suffered some sort of injury, and he lost his accent,
Mhm.
but gained the ability to see forward in the time.
Oh,
There it
there we
is.
go.
Maybe we're on to something.
Yes,
Mm.
All right. Next
and I
news.
put more thought into that than the Bookers put into NXT 2.0.
Next news. We'll stay in the WWE realm.
Speaking of brain injuries, Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Mm.
Not
That's a segue.
Yeah,
That
that's a
is a
segue.
bad.
not a when we say
Shouldn't
brain,
be
it's not
laughing.
insane, but she is complaining of head injury as well as dental.
She is out with an unspecified brain and dental injury.
Mm.
So-
Weird
like-
combination.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? My cerebral cortex and my incisors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My teeth in my head.
Yeah.
I hope she comes back soon because she was going to wrestle Bianca at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, apparently
Yeah.
she is out of money in the bank.
Yeah.
Unless that's a situation where she was like clenching and then also got kicked in the face.
She got
It could be.
crushed.
It could be something with her and I come from a dental background, so it could be something to do with her maxillary teeth. If she got kicked up here, it could have
Oh,
caused
okay.
a crack.
She also
And-
has the
Mm.
piercing inside her mouth,
Yeah.
and then she has that,
Oh, boy.
she has that bracket that goes.
So get
This is why I'm
kicked into it. Yeah.
I'm surprised more wrestlers don't wear mouthpieces.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
there are
Especially if you have a piercing like up in on your gums.
there are
first I'd say take that
mouthpieces
out.
now that prevent concussions too. So that was just coming out
I mean, that
right
was
when
the whole.
I was leaving.
That was the whole
the
idea of
industry.
mouthpieces since they're invented, weren't they? To
No.
prevent concussions.
No,
I thought it was just protect your teeth.
teeth.
Yeah.
So now Under Armour made one when I was leaving. They were like state of the art when I was leaving.
Keep you from biting off your tongue too.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. So now there are special cushion, like different. They're designed a little different to help you prevent a concussion. Now all the athletes in the NFL and stuff wear them. NHL, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
prevents
not
the
gonna
shock
help.
of like your
Yeah.
jaw
Yeah.
firing.
I mean, that's good,
when,
but-
they don't have it stuffed in their
Yeah,
face.
you
mask.
can still
Yeah.
get a concussion. That's not like
Right,
I'll put
but-
this in and I'm fine.
If you get a small like
It's almost
hit
like
to the face,
it's
and
almost
stuff,
like
it
biting
helps.
down and tucking your chin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it helps, but it's not going to be a total.
I think the mouthpiece is a
Protective.
cool touch.
Yeah.
I like.
Especially if your gimmick is like I'm a serious like when
Yeah.
Kurt Angle did it for a little bit when he was in ECW.
I think
before he left.
it'd be a little hard to breathe.
Well, no. What if
sometimes.
it's the opposite of someone who's a very serious wrestler? What if it's someone who doesn't want to mess up their appearance,
That'd be okay.
like the Miz,
Yeah.
or someone else?
The Miz could have used that. One of AJ's
Or was
first
it
matches, he
Carmella?
knocked off one of his veneers.
Yeah.
All right, next news.
A return. Kushida is back in New Japan
Mhm.
Pro Wrestling. They announced his first match will be on July 3rd at New Japan Road. He will team with Tanahashi. We'll be talking about a bit later. Alex Zane as well. And they're going to be going against Team Bullet Club, Kenta, Taiji Ishimori, and Geto.
I think Tanahashi was his last match too. I'm pretty sure.
May have been,
I
yeah.
had two last matches. Might have had a a lot of times in New Japan they have like okay, here's my last match. And it's like an 8-man tag, so
Yeah.
you can wrestle.
So I wonder if this is going to wind up with Alex Shelley maybe coming back a little bit to New Japan.
Yeah, time splitters.
Yeah, because Japan can do time travel stuff, but God
They
forbid if-
weren't literally time
Yeah,
traveling.
they were. That was just their name. Yeah, they
Yeah.
never traveled through time.
That's because
Oh,
New-
so one's
So-
allowed
so
to have the
here's
name,
the
but
thing.
one can't have the gimmick.
Here's the thing. If Okada was in NXT, his whole thing would be he can literally make it rain inside the building.
Yeah.
Yes.
It would just turn on the sprinklers.
Yeah.
if-
Well,
if
he would
New-
have like the cane arms.
if New Japan actually put storylines and production and stuff like that.
Oh, they have production.
They
They
would
have
do,
production.
they would do,
Yeah.
they don't do like segments and stuff. They just
No, because it's wrestling.
it's all
Yeah.
in the ring.
It's a
Yeah.
wrestling show.
yeah.
Like we said before, it's
wrestling
more
show.
like UFC there. Like it's taken seriously.
If Tanahashi was in NXT 2.0, his gimmick would be he was a giant playing card.
Yeah.
As
But
it should.
Kushida never time traveled in NXT. Should have. But that was still Triple H NXT.
All right, next news.
Next up on the news, we have sad news. Two legendary referees passed. Tim White, who was a longtime official. He was for a
And
while.
one retired officially.
He was a longtime handler for Andre the Giant.
Mhm.
He would kind of travel around with Andre, would referee all his matches. He passed away. He was also, we just did a Fully Loaded 2002, I believe, the one with the Hell in a Cell with Triple H and Jericho.
Yes.
That was the final match I ever ref, because in that match, he takes a bump off the apron into the cell, and he separated the shoulder and never refereed a match again.
Oh.
Ooh.
He stayed around as an official, and then they did a really tasteless
Yeah,
web
especially now.
a web skit with him where he was very distracted. They would always, whenever they were in like New Hampshire, wherever he was from, they would do always shoot vignettes at his bar. It was called like the Friendly Tap. He owned a bar wherever he was from.
Yeah, the acolytes displayed
Yeah.
it a couple times.
Yeah, it's called the Friendly Tap. And so they did this whole thing with him and Josh Matthews, where every week Tim White wanted to kill himself.
Yeah, in
Oh.
different ways.
And then it was funny because he would always mess up killing himself.
it made no sense.
And it's called like Tim White's lunchtime suicide.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was presented funny, but anyone with any little bit of
Yeah, it
like,
was like,
context,
even back
it
then,
was
it's like, this is
wow.
a really poor taste.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like,
Is this like
why?
South Park time where like Kenny's dying
A
every
little
episode?
after that.
Yeah.
And then the other one is Dave Hebner, twin brother of Earl Hebner. For a while, Earl Hebner was just called Dave Hebner when he came in. He was the original one back
Well,
in...
how do we know which one actually? Because they switched so many times on us. Maybe.
Not really.
They switched them in the
no,
casket too.
The storyline was
I wanna be dead.
they looked quite different from like 1996
Yeah,
on.
yeah, yeah.
Dave gained a little bit of weight. But for a while, Earl was a referee in Mid-Atlantic. He was a referee for Jim Crockett Promotions, and Dave was a referee for the WWF. And then Earl left, and they did that whole angle. Still to this day, the most watched match in American wrestling history. The main event, Hulk Hogan against Andre the Giant, where Hulk Hogan loses the title for the first time because the referee, Dave Hebner, does a fast count. And then Dave Hebner comes in the ring and is like, hey, who is this guy? And so the storyline for Earl Hebner, even though it's just really Dave's twin, is like, this was a referee that the $1 million man paid a lot of money to have undergo plastic surgery so he looked just like Dave Hebner. See, this is good, stupid booking.
Yeah.
This is
Oh
good,
my
stupid booking.
But that is good. And
It
makes
is
sense.
good. You're not arguing with me.
Good is very subjective
Yes.
and seems
Do
to
you think
teeter.
it's not good?
No, I never said
I think
that.
it's
Oh.
fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
That's why I like all
You had
corny, cheesy
Twins
shit.
that nobody knew were twins. Now, if they were
Yeah.
already known
Like
they were
Elijah
twins,
and
they-
Ezekiel.
oh god.
It's Elias.
Well,
Elias
honestly,
and Ezekiel.
Elijah might show up.
Yeah.
the
That
moment
one
where
is
the
speakeasy.
Bellas debuted, like they kind of did that gimmick
they
well.
they
Yeah.
did a funny thing the first time they did it where Bree hides under the ring and then they go to pull her out and then she comes out the other side, but it's like if this was really just the same person, she would be like 9 feet tall.
Yeah,
That
like,
was
the
fun.
legs are out one side and the
Yeah.
head's out the other.
Yeah.
That was fun. And then also in the news, WWE ratings on the upswing.
Well, also the Hebner's kid retired.
Brian Hebner. Oh, he did.
Yes,
I did not know
he
that.
did. Him and Earl did their last match. Well, Earl still does here and there, but like they did a tribute at Impact,
Okay, yeah, because
And-
Brian refereed the main event.
and then Brian
okay.
Brian said that was his last.
And there
match.
was a bump, and then Earl came in and actually I think counted a 3 in that one.
Yeah.
Brian's not that old either. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I think he officially said he's
Maybe he has
retiring.
some
Yeah.
injuries.
And Earl is fucking the coolest human being on the
Yeah,
planet.
I love Earl Hebner.
If you can meet Earl Hebner, please do so.
Hopefully, you don't know. He's an old school guy, so you would think the show must go on. I know he is scheduled for Legends of Hamburg.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get to see Earl again. Earl is a pleasure to have either a quick conversation or a fairly long one with.
If you're in
Earl's a good
Pennsylvania,
guy.
please come to Legends of Hamburg. More just announced. We'll be doing a call. We'll be on the call.
Yeah,
Rock and Roll
for
Express.
Ricky and Robert. Yeah, exciting.
That's insane.
The Rock and Roll Express against one of my favorite teams in the area, the leaders of the new school.
Yes.
Robbie Radke and Bad Bad Banks.
The fuck? Like, who'd have thought?
They announced their match too. Kobe Carino versus Vinny Pacific.
Yeah, they announced 2 matches.
I don't know if that was last night or today.
They announced another match after that.
Oh, really?
6-man tag with 3 of our favorites. Let's say.
Oh,
Philly Mike Swanson
Okay.
teaming with the Diamond City War
Okay.
Machine.
It's a team that I didn't know
One
I
of my
wanted until it
it's the
happened.
Philly Wilkes-Barre Scranton connection.
No, yeah, it's the Keystone Connection
Oh,
against
okay.
a bunch of guys from New York.
Oh,
Oh,
It's
bunch of job guys.
no,
I don't know.
no, the announcers. Jose, Joel, and Will Maximo, the
Oh,
SAT.
wow.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
SAT's coming. That's cool.
I love both all 3 of those guys, and I was like, man, I never thought in my brain like, what if they did a 6-man? And now it's happened. Like, this is great. Yeah, Diamond City and Philly Mike. That's exciting.
The Maximals were real big, like when indie wrestling started
Yeah.
off when ROH.
2002
started.
early Ring of Honor,
Yeah.
pre Ring of Honor, CZW.
All Jersey Pro.
Yeah,
and then
Jersey
there was
All Pro, yeah.
Jersey All Pro. There was another one too out of Jersey.
There were always like matches with them and Red, the Amazing Red, because I think that's their cousin, or
Yeah.
I think that's really their cousin. But it'd always be like it would either be the Maximos against Red and Brian Excel, who was another guy that came up with them. They're all Mikey Whipwreck trained.
Yeah.
Or it would be the SAT and Red against this team Quiet Storm, who was a big team back then, and Brian Excel. So then they tore the house down. I remember I saw there was one guy in the match that wasn't the best. It was Fun Athletic guy.
Oh,
You
boy.
can spell it out. Who was Rob Feinstein doing a very tasteless gimmick. It was him and Quiet Storm against the Maximals and Amazing Red, and it was incredible.
Ryan Vox says rock and roll is my dream opponents. Well, you're the commissioner, my guy,
Yeah.
and you booked yourself quite a card. I'm really excited.
I have
for
a
how it
feeling
turns out.
maybe Robbie Racky is going to have a trick knee act in him.
Hey, yeah. Marcel beats him up on the way.
Yeah, he's going to get clubbed in the knee by a masked man.
It's a figure skating female.
A masked man who looks suspiciously like Ryan Vox.
Yeah.
All right, let's get these last two. Two
more news things. WWE ratings are up a bit. Maybe because of all the media attention that Vince McMahon is getting lately. SmackDown, which he was on, and it was a big thing.
Yeah, I think they teased him being on,
Yeah.
and people tuned in thinking he was going
But
to
the thing
talk
is-
upon the subject,
Yeah.
and he didn't.
Well,
so.
he did indirectly because that whole message was, "I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm here forever,
Yeah.
forever."
And this promo's gonna make me babyface, and the judge will be like, "Oh, I seen that promo. It's okay."
And it does help when Roman's on TV,
Yeah, Roman and Riddle.
and then the return of Brock Lesnar.
So yeah, SmackDown did their second best numbers of the year. Raw had their best numbers since right around Mania.
Oh,
And
you know
then-
it's 10 years of 3-hour Raws.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow.
10 years.
Jesus Christ.
And then NXT just had their best ratings since Halloween Havoc.
Because we're watching them.
Wow.
I may have a Nielsen.
So they went from 2 to 4.
We doubled them.
Yeah. That's so many brain cells you have to have to book that show. 4.
Jesus Christmas.
They're really teasing you, Austin.
That's fine.
I watch it with them.
There's good stuff on there. Like
When the show's over.
no, it's not as bad
the
as it
commercials
was.
that run during it.
Yeah, the
It's-
intro.
It's not as bad as it was when it first started as
Oh.
NXT.
Well, that's
2.0.
because all of the characters that they've forced into the stories are now starting to get over with that same
the
crowd.
characters are still bad. There's some good wrestling. There's some good wrestling. They've done a better job at pairing the guys who are a little more seasoned. And when I say guys, I mean men and women.
Yeah.
The wrestlers that are a little more seasoned
Yeah.
Which
with the
is good,
wrestlers
yeah.
who are a little more green. They even tried that in that Lash Legend match. It was her and speaking of bad names, Alba Fire, formerly Kaylee Ray,
Melba Toast.
and
The Flaming Baseball.
she tried. Alba Fire tried. Lash Legend is just not. And I'm not going to say she's never going to be good.
She's
She's
just
not
TV
ready for TV.
Yeah.
She's not ready for. She should be on the pre-show of a house show.
Like you could tell that she has personality, and we talked about it before that she definitely has athletic background, but it's not transitioning to anything in ring.
Eric Pinhead in the chest says, "How do I always manage to join right before you guys start talking about us?"
He's got his
Ah,
spidey senses
it's
going.
your
He
tingles.
talked to Apollo Crews and he told him because he's seen it in the future.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you have Apollo Crews powers?
Clairvoyance.
And the last bit of news. So we have
So we have 2 matches announced now for Ric Flair's final match, which was also just moved. The show was moved from the National Fairgrounds, which is the old TNA Asylum, to a much larger building. I believe it's at the National Civic
Yeah, where he
Auditorium.
beat Steamboat for the belt.
Yeah, Wrestle War, yeah.
Mhm.
So the matches that were formally announced have nothing to do with Ric Flair. I guess the rumor now is going to be probably Flair and FTR against Jay Lethal and the Rock and Roll Express. Seems like where that's going.
Yeah, they're doing an angle where Jay Lethal's not on the card and he's mad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was mad about me no-show the podcast, and yeah. So the matches that were announced today, reigning Impact World Champion Josh Alexander will be in a non-title match, I believe. Or no, it is a title match. So Josh is defending against Jacob Fatu.
No.
They announced New Japan will be involved in some way.
Wow.
And then a great tag team match announced.
This is gonna be sick.
The Motor City Machine Guns, Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley against the Wolves, Davey
Oh,
Richards and
wow.
Eddie Edwards.
Fucking
Okay.
yes.
Yeah.
Did that ever happen in Impact?
It may have happened in Ring of Honor,
Yeah. I don't know.
where they were called
Yeah,
the
probably,
Murder
because
City
Chris Sabin
Machine
would have been
Guns.
out by that. Yeah.
And then
Impact and New Japan on the same show working together for Ric Flair.
they have
Well, that's Conrad.
Impact in New Japan. Yeah, that's
they
all
were clear.
Conrad.
Yeah.
Conrad That is the Shadow Emperor of professional wrestling.
saying.
Right there.
Wait, this is Jim Crockett Promotions.
Just
Yeah.
saying.
Oh yeah, Jim Crockett Promotions.
When people are
Conrad.
backstage and they're talking and rubbing elbows, good things can happen.
And not from New Japan. Zing!
So yeah, there's a lot around that, and Conrad is a power broker in wrestling.
Yeah.
So that's what that is, and also David Richards returned to Impact over the weekend. He was the mystery fifth guy on
Oh, okay.
the Impact Originals.
I thought it would be Chris Harris because they teased him, but maybe he doesn't wrestle.
I'll watch David Richards wrestle every weekend.
Well,
He's so
it did fit the storyline because the turncoat that joined Honor No More, the ex-Ring of Honor guys that were the Impact Originals were going up against, was Eddie Edwards.
Oh, okay.
So then Davey Richards is the
it's
mystery guy. That makes a lot of
American
sense.
They said they tore down the old fairgrounds and built a new one.
Oh,
okay.
okay. Yeah, the old National Fairgrounds was the original beginning style.
All due respect, but I can't stand Lash Legend.
Okay, we were talking some trash about it. I thought Lash Legend was a guy. Sounds like a guy's name.
Well, they said I can't stand. They don't like it. They don't.
Yeah.
The
And then Machine Guns versus Wolves is going to be great, but not the first time, but always good.
yeah, not saying she will never get any better.
Right.
Probably the worst wrestler I've ever seen on television.
Wow.
Wow.
Because she's a wrestler. She's not a manager wrestling or a celebrity wrestling.
The worst wrestler whose
yeah.
job is to
When,
wrestle.
when you said in the chat, this is like the worst person you've ever seen on TV. I watched it. I can definitely see she's not prepared, but I've seen worse.
Who?
Yeah.
James Ellsworth.
No,
Okay,
James
fair.
Ellsworth is better.
Yeah, he had
some
good
of the
reaction.
matches of a recent person who holds a title right now was as
say
bad.
it.
What
Rhonda?
what person has a title right now that's
'Cause
been having some pretty shitty matches depending on who they work?
Rhonda's return is not good.
TBS champion.
Oh, Jade.
Oh,
Jade.
Jade.
There's
Jade-
been some really rough Jade matches.
So I haven't seen this Lash Legend, but I'm just going to assume Jade's a little bit better.
Jade can run the ropes.
Yeah.
Jade knows how to run the ropes.
Yeah.
Not saying Jade's good.
No.
Jade and Lash Legend are in the same camp where they're both pretty green.
Yes.
And they might be. Let's look at them 3 years from now and see where they're at. And they're probably going to be much, much better.
Mhm.
Super athletes. They're both super
Um,
athletes who have work to do.
Neither are on like Bianca Belair level.
No.
Oh, God. No.
No.
No, none of them are on Carmella level.
That's so.
And Carmella's not that good.
That's entry level.
Carmella has a sweet super kick though. But the
I
only
like her submission that she does.
Yeah,
when she
man.
rolls up with her head. That's cool.
the only other thing I want to put over before we get into Forbidden Door, if you haven't had a chance to go watch it, Impact's pay-per-view was very entertaining. I didn't see the whole card for it, but
What was it called?
this is it
Slammiversary.
was-
It's their big show of the year.
Yeah.
That and Bound for Glory.
Women's match was really good. The ladder to put the thing on, like it was a weird gimmick,
The
but
queen of the
Oh,
mountain match,
yeah.
right? To hang
They
the,
did a
the belt
really
up
good-
on the
like,
ladder.
they did a good job.
That
putting the
always
match together.
feels awkward and wonky when the
And,
guys did it. When
Jordan
they
Grace
put
won
up
the
and
title.
fell.
She
Okay.
she did the Samoa Joe spot. She did the muscle buster, and then like
Yeah.
the same exact.
And then,
finish. That's
the-
cool.
The Ultimate X, I'm sure, had a lot of crazy stuff with who was in it.
Yeah.
New X Division champion, Speedball Mike Bailey.
Mhm.
He deserves it, man. That guy, fucking.
Well, if Ace is going to be doing New Japan on a regular basis, they're going to want a full timer there with the title.
Yeah,
and,
I can't
and,
blame.
and Speedball. I mean, WrestleMania weekend. That guy worked 458 matches.
Yeah, I think he's still wrestling once uptown.
Yeah,
he used
he's-
Apollo Cruz's time travel. powers.
He's killing.
Just like Tanahashi and Mox are still looking at each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that was a rough ending.
Yeah.
And
you should
then
just see
the,
Apollo Cruz standing there like, I'm getting out of here. It goes
and,
back to him in the curtain like, nah.
and do yourself a favor, jump over on Fight and go purchase the last GCW show because holy Hannah, I only watched one of the matches. I had to go back and watch more. Our boys' main event showed up and wrestled
Yes.
for the title.
Unsuccessful in wresting the GCW tag team titles from Team Bussy.
And fucking John Moxley and Tony Deppen killed it. Not only did they kill it, but Deppen like won the hearts of the crowd on a John
Yeah.
Moxley match.
Not the later show. The later show was different. It was GCW. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Was the name of the show.
Very heavily Mox crowd, and then by the end, everyone's like chanting for Tony Deppen. Like,
Also, you'll see Joey Janela wrestle a 72-year-old man who does a tope suicida during the match. He was also in the Reverse Battle Royal on Impact. It was on the pre-show. He did.
Yeah.
Mike Jackson's big spot is he will do the walk the ropes thing the Undertaker did. Again, 72 years old.
Yeah.
But he will walk around the entire ring.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
And he walked around the entire guardrail on the outside of GCW.
Oh,
That's cool.
Joey, and he beat Joey Janela. Oh no, he did it at Impact. He walked the
Yeah.
guardrail because it was the Reverse Battle Royal
yeah,
won by Shark Boy.
Masha versus Marco.
Masha and Marco, yeah.
Did she
Marco
flatten
getting
him?
name dropped on
Yeah.
On Dynamite.
Dynamite, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Remember what happened to Marco?
Yeah.
You also had some old school indie wrestlers from the Northeast. Homicide against Grim Reaper.
Wow.
Yeah. And you had Charles Mason, who we've known quite a bit against Spider Nate Webb.
Yeah.
Why did speaking of their old name there? Spider.
And speaking of the Maximos, who will be wrestling at the show after Legends of Hamburg for Outbreak Wrestling, they wrestled on that show against ASF, Drago Kid, and Gringo Loco.
It's a good card. Go check it out. Just, I mean, for the Mox Deppen alone is worth your money. The match starts. Mox is in the corner, like with his hoodie on,
Mox in the corner,
just like we're getting fired up and excited. And Deppen just goes over and fucking
Right
flips
in
him in
his
the
face.
bird, and Moxley just punches him in the face. And that's before the match. That's before they even fucking ring a bell. So Deppen already has a black eye. And then they just kick the shit out of each other. It was fucking awesome. And then they announced Mox versus Alex Shelley.
No, Alex Zane.
No, Alex Zane. Sorry, Alex Zane for the next show.
Alex Zane was a guy who was a big star for GCW. He got signed for NXT, and then he was one of those guys like Anthony Green or somebody like that who was there for like 2 months, and then that's when they got rid of everybody.
A little bit
NXT.
of 205 Live, and then
Anthony Green. So how do you have fucking Anthony Green in your locker room and not use him? He's so fucking, and he's fun to be around.
I adore Anthony Green. He was
so good.
He was awesome to be around.
All right, well, let's cover Forbidden Door. Let us know in the chat. We're gonna go through the card. We are going to do our pro wrestling scorecards. We will have the link on our social medias and stuff. If you want to play along,
I don't know if that's up yet.
it's not. It's not
because of Rampage.
Yeah. But go to digital.prowrestling-scorecards. You can download an app or you can go on the website. It's completely free to sign up. And we have our stable. You can join our stable and play along.
Faction. That's what they call
The
it.
faction, yeah. We have
Nobody calls them stables in wrestling anymore.
Yeah. All of the people who've been joining and signing up have been fantastic. People are winning and we have no idea who you are because of your screen names.
Rocker Chick or something.
Rocker Chick
Yeah.
won the last one. Like it's fun. So thank you guys for signing up and
I
playing
believe that's
along.
Martina Jannetty.
Yeah. But join along with us. We're going to go over the card. Not exactly what's on Pro Wrestling Scorecards. We don't know exactly how they're scoring it, what's there, but feel free to play along and let's go down Forbidden Door.
So we have the buy-in match. There will be a buy-in in the it's an 8-man tag. It's the Gun Club with Billy, and Billy's in action.
Yeah, he's wrestling.
And Max Caster.
Former New Japan veteran. Billy Gunn.
He wrestled Tanahashi.
Yeah.
It's Billy Gunn
I
and his
love-
kids. Austin and
They
Colton.
they are fucking winning me over. That little 4-man group.
Now, there's
Mhm.
two guys that have charisma right
Yes.
there.
Well, they're
The
the
Acclaimed?
sons. They're the sons of
Yeah,
Billy Gunn.
son of ass.
They're
I'm
the son
saying,
of
I'm
Gunn.
saying the Acclaimed.
The Acclaimed have
Yeah.
really
Oh,
won me
yeah.
over. And them and the Ass Boys together are just fucking
the
gold.
Acclaimed are such a consistent gimmick that they could use forever.
Yeah.
They don't miss.
And they're like at the point now where people are like, they're annoying with their raps. Now people are like cheering them on.
That's the point.
It's so
Mhm.
fun.
The point is they're annoying. They're heels.
They literally became the new age outlaws. Like,
Kinda, yeah.
That's a good comparison.
yeah.
So it's them against Team NJPW Dojo, the DKC, Kevin Knight, Alec Coughlin, and Yuya Uemura.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's your buy. And then we have the show proper, which we have a 6-man tag with, an 8-man tag with
Do it like Excalibur did and then have a stroke halfway through.
Team Bullet Club, the Young Bucks, El Fantasmo, and Hikuleo against the Dudes with Attitudes, Diesel and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
Oh no, the original Dudes with Attitudes. Sting, Nikita Koloff, Ron Simmons, and Dustin Rhodes. How can Dustin Rhodes not be on the goddamn
Yeah.
Dudes with Attitudes? It is Darby Allin, Sting, and LIJ's Shingo Takagi and Hiromu Takahashi.
Mhm. Weird putting them two together or four together, I should say. Adding Shingo and
remove Darby and
Takahashi.
just put on Dustin.
It has to be
Both
to be
of them
Sting,
have half
Dustin,
their-
Ricky Steamboat,
yeah.
and Nikita Koloff.
In the chat, hanging out
Johnny
with us
B.
now, saying, "Hey guys, over on the Twitch side,
CJ Smith.
CJ is from Harrisburg. He actually started
okay.
following us on TikTok after you guys were at the
RWF.
RWF
Oh.
show. Yeah,
Thank you.
he is a fan of Andy Hatter. When we put the who's your favorite independent wrestler?
Oh, well, thank you,
He said
CJ.
Andy Hatter. There you go.
Yeah.
No, that match was excellent.
No, thank you.
So
It was. Go back and watch it. It's
Yeah.
on YouTube. RWF.
you-
Revolution
YouTube for
Wrestling
free.
Federation. Me and Matt Quay.
Quay, old school news.
It's,
floor right
it's
there.
not separated though. That's the only problem with the,
No, I
it's
think
all
it's-
one file.
it's right
one
after
video.
the intermission.
Yeah,
So,
so
if you fast forward to
like
the
the halfway
intermission.
point.
And PCO being a psychopath on that show.
Yeah.
Yes, PCO was right before that. I think.
Took on Adrian Starr. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Exotic
Mhm.
Adrian Star.
Yeah, no.
All right, next match.
AEW Women's Title.
I think Ant knew.
What a shock! The only women's match.
Yeah.
with all Japan people or
No,
New Japan people in it.
You know, everyone thought there'd be a stardom match, but no.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Tony Storm against Thunder Rosa.
I think it's gonna be Ant new.
You think there's that much heat on Thunder Rosa?
I don't think it's heat. I just think
I
it's it's Tony time.
Yeah, I think she fell flat. I do as a champion. I think she
They
kind of fell
still
flat.
let guys run a little bit though, even when they're
Sheeta
out
was
of
flat
steam.
for like half her title reign.
Yeah.
But then again, Thunder Rosa's not dating an executive VP.
Yeah. I don't-
Is Tony?
No,
Oh,
No,
Sheeta.
Sheeta was.
Sheeta. Yeah.
I see Thunder Rosa keeping it.
You did?
I'd like Tony Storm to win it, but I don't think she should lose it right now.
I
I
wouldn't
think-
hate it, but it is too soon.
Yeah, it is what it is. Fucking, I mean, we just had a champion who in ring ability is fucking fantastic, but as a champion, was it that great of a run? With Hangman.
Yeah, it's kind of the same, but I mean,
But that's your world champion, and in AEW, unfortunately, the women's division is not on parallel with the men's division.
Yeah, based
At
on
least
the
not
amount
even
of
as
time
close,
that they
and
get.
not as close as it is in WWE.
Yeah,
Mm.
I think Thunder is one of the best female workers in the business, but I just think her as a champion has been it hasn't been compelling.
And there has been
Yeah.
rumors that whatever was going on between her and Reina Shafir has been settled.
Yeah, they broke bread on an Instagram
Yeah.
post.
So I mean, the problem AEW has with the women's division is the same it's always been. Is besides Jade Cargill, who's not the best wrestler, Britt Baker's the only one that can really talk.
Oh, so Jade's losing that title, baby, to Athena. That's happening.
I'm fine with that.
Oh,
Athena,
yeah.
Athena would be a great champion.
That t-shirt, that
Athena would be,
t-shirt's in the mail right now. It's coming in.
Athena would be a great women's world champion.
yeah, she would.
6-man action, a lot of multi-man matches. On
Oh
this.
yes,
Too many.
it's like an indie
Yeah.
card.
It's like the Cork
fucking
and Hall
exci-
show.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
it's
Just fucking bodies everywhere.
Shota Umino, Wheeler Yuta, and Eddie Kingston against Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki.
Shooter Shota, who was Moxley's protege.
Yeah.
They used to have the tag matches. That was pretty good when they were doing the whole.
This year has been fantastic for me learning about Japan talent, and Suzuki has been a fucking bright spot for me.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, him and Effie was everything Suzuki did recently has just been fantastic.
Everything Suzuki has ever done has been
Yeah.
I
fantastic.
think he's how many years old? 50 something.
He's in his 50s.
53.
He's awesome.
He's well into his 50s.
I'll watch him every weekend. He doesn't even like he's just entertaining. Him and Effie was probably my favorite thing I've ever watched. Like it honestly, I know it's not a fucking 5-star fucking
I think
Oh,
if,
he's had those too in
if
the
you
past.
ask people what their favorite Suzuki match, probably not near the top, but
No,
I enjoyed it.
mine's the one with Okada. Yeah,
I thought
well, the AJ is really good too.
Mhm.
I thought the
He's-
character work for both of them. They both played a character and did exactly what we're supposed to do in a pro wrestling match. I thought it was
He's a
very,
good
very entertaining.
testament to how old he is, how good he wrestles, and he still loves it that he's still doing it.
And
you
also
know?
legitimately a bad man.
Yeah, and wrestling on a very high level too.
A bad
Yes.
man who has a very fun sense of humor
Mhm.
about himself as well, which
Who
really won
who
me
can
over.
really kill you
Yeah.
if he
Yeah.
wanted to.
If you follow him on Instagram, he posts about his clothing shop in Japan.
Really?
He owns a clothing shop
Yeah.
in Japan.
Mm-hmm. He's like has these socks and stuff that he's always posting his like fedoras and stuff. It's like, oh, but I'm gonna buy it because I don't want you to strangle me.
Yeah. So great. But all right.
How many tag matches total are on the card?
Well,
8.
well, tag matches 1, 2, 3.
I thought it's like an indie card.
4 tag matches out of 9 matches, and then out of 9 matches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 9 have at least 4 people involved,
Mm.
Wow.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
including like
Get your shit
Four.
in.
Good luck being a referee.
pack
let's
that
say.
card,
Yep.
Mhm.
pack that card,
And this
It
is
makes
with
it worse.
and this is going in with injured rosters.
Yeah.
well, there's also 2 companies.
Yeah.
Yes.
With injured rosters. So like
New Japan's roster is not that injured.
but there's
Yeah,
still people that aren't on the card that could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Naito?
He's a little where's Naito is the
Well,
question.
You gotta save some for the
And,
next one.
Where's Sonata?
Absolutely.
Coda's a little disgruntled, so
Yeah.
Ibushi will not be there.
Or really? Oh no.
No, he will not be.
No,
It's all a work. It's MJF. No, I'm sorry.
maybe it'll be backstage hanging with Kenny, but that's about it.
Yeah.
All right, next match.
The next match will be for the IWGP United States title. Orange Cassidy challenging Will Ospreay.
Even though
This-
Will Ospreay does not have the physical belt because Juice refuses to give it up.
This match.
Which
that
is
a
an
le-
indicator of who's winning.
Yeah, is
Yes.
that a legit thing that he won't give it up, or is
No,
that
no, it's
just
an angle.
an angle?
This
That is a high storyline for New Japan.
It's probably somebody forgot to pick up the belt, and he forgot. He doesn't want to get rid of it.
is going to steal the show.
It could.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a singles match, so there's not going to be busy,
Mhm.
and you have 2 very talented people in it.
Is it going to be a title change?
No.
No,
It doesn't seem
No.
like
But
that
but you
at
know,
all.
it could because
No.
Orange Cassidy does go over there. So
No.
no.
He's a part of
but
chaos.
here's the only thing that would be cool if he won the title. Think about it. Him versus Juice
And he never
Robinson.
and he never picks it up.
no,
freshly squeezed
Orange
versus
Cassidy
yeah.
versus Juice Robinson.
Yes.
No.
The orange.
They need to be a
I'm
team.
sold.
The orange juice fight.
Yeah.
No, I think Will Ospreay.
I can't believe Danielson is not going to be at Forbidden Door. It sucks, man. It sucks. But like I said,
Yeah.
Forbidden Door 2 is going to be a banger.
I'm a little sad about that.
Yeah,
It's
I really
difficult
wanna-
though. It's difficult to say like, oh, the next one's going to be a banger when like.
Oh, the
You-
next one's going to be a banger.
Yeah, but you don't know if you have that opportunity again. Obviously,
You never
like,
know, yeah.
it's easy to assume that it
any
will happen
backstage
again.
shenanigans can happen.
Yeah,
God forbid, and their stars hurt. Let's say they have Kenny Okada for it. No, now Okada's hurt. No,
Yeah.
I can't. So I never know.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. It's going to be an eye-opening experience.
So-
Next match.
So speaking of that, it's going to be Zack Sabre Jr. against. We don't know.
Question mark.
Who do you
X,
think?
as
No,
New
he's
Japan
dead.
says
He's
X.
dead.
Yeah. Question mark is dead.
Let's play spec in the chat. Who do you think will be that
Well,
mystery person?
If it's not one of two people, the crowd's gonna be a little upset.
Mhm.
Because it's gonna be let down.
yeah.
So if it's not Claudio and it's not Johnny Gargano, people are gonna be like, "Oh, this is cool."
Out
but
of Johnny and
Yeah.
Claudio, who do you want?
Claudio.
I want Claudio too.
Yeah, because apparently not only do they wrestle Zack Sabre, they're also in Blood and Guts,
Yeah.
which changes who you would pick or think.
I just know Johnny could perform no matter what.
Yeah.
Obviously, I
Are you
want.
saying Claudio can?
No, not at all. But I know no matter what style of match, especially the blood and guts match, I know Johnny's going to kill it because.
Oh, solo Claudio.
yeah, absolutely. I
Well,
don't
He,
doubt that.
Johnny has
Page
been
of
getting-
death.
Keep in mind, he has
That's
only
awesome.
seen WWE Cesaro.
Yeah.
and
No,
not-
I'm familiar with previous
Ring of
Cesaro
Honor
as well.
Claudio.
Did you ever
But
see
that-
Cage of
that's
Death?
awesome.
Yes, yes.
We
him
gotta
and Chris
Claudio
appreciate-
Hero
would be
just-
fine.
You gotta appreciate that's Austin's pick. My pick would be
Yeah.
Claudio too. So
Either or, there I would be.
But as far as like Brian's promo about like you should be very excited, Cesaro has to be the guy, or Claudio in this situation has to be the
Yeah,
guy.
no disrespect to his talent, because on a talent level, he would be right up there. If it's Jonathan Gresham, people will be disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
well, he's injured, is he not?
He may be.
Yeah.
And then if he's ROH champion, does he lose to Zack Sabre? Do they
Yeah.
care about that? And then
Yeah.
does it make sense to put him
Right.
in Blood and Guts?
Right.
Yeah.
We've
Not
seen
really.
Gargano pretty much with the King of the Crown. You know what I mean? Like even though he wasn't title holder all the time, he was always been a big name player.
Oh yeah.
The entire time of his run at WB NXT, where Claudio was always kind of like the guy we wanted to have.
Oh, you were talking about misused.
Yeah,
They gave
yeah.
us a lot of glimpses of Cesaro's popular. You can't even say they didn't try. Like he had multiple
I almost
moments
bought-
where he
I
was
almost
very
bought a
over. They
figure.
just never put a title on him.
I almost
The
bought a
world
figure the other
title.
day. They're selling. You know how they're doing those double packs with the stands, and you can like put them on the stands, like they're doing like the Rhea Charlotte and all those.
Oh yeah.
It's a Claudio and Roman.
Oh really?
It's at
Oh.
Walmart.
And that's
now.
one time they gave him plus like you fucking give Claudio the belt for a little
Yeah, it's at Walmart now. Or
He never had the belt at all.
bit. No.
No.
just tag.
U.S.
US title
and maybe the
winner.
Intercontinental, maybe.
I don't think he got IC
I don't know.
multi-time like tag
That's a
champion
shame.
with the
Yeah.
bar
I know he
and
He
He
was
I
Kid,
watched-
Tyson Kidd.
Tyson Kidd.
he was
Yeah.
the uppercuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the U.S. champion, but I was always bummed at that reign because he should have been the very European champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the most fun gimmick he had. He had a lot of great matches and everything in the Indies, but his best gimmick when he was like kind of Euro trashy, and he was just everything was very European because he was so high class.
If it's Claudio, that will be the run for this match. Also has the opportunity because singles as two guys can work.
If I'm Tony Khan, I'm trying to buy the rights to Sledgehammer right now.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not for Triple H.
Yeah. All right, next match.
And my long shot pick is
Oh.
Chris Hero.
Chris Hero.
Oh, that
Hasn't
would be
done
good.
anything.
I
I mean,
heard-
Still think that might be
that
a
would
letdown.
yeah, probably let that with people like, hey, he's back. Let's see.
Yeah.
But yeah, if
I-
it's fucking John Morrison.
Yeah, that's I've
Ugh.
seen people on Twitter saying it could be
Ugh.
John Morrison again.
And then someone's like, what if it's Lee
man.
Moriarty? I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind? Nothing against the guy. But come on.
He's very good.
Yeah, just not
But
surprise worthy. Not
You
pay-per-view
got to
for
understand, like when
surprise-worthy.
you have Danielson do that hard sell,
Yeah.
you
And
better.
I'm not
deliver.
going to tell you, but you're going to be
And-
surprised.
And I think Tony Khan knows that, and I think they're going to get somebody that can deliver.
Well,
I
yeah,
mean,
if you drop the ball at this point,
Tony
people are
Khan
gonna
said he's
be
bringing
pissed.
in a Hall of Famer and he brought in Christian Cage.
Yeah, how about that fucking
Well, he
promo?
said, in my
Oh.
opinion, a Hall of Famer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
but
going
that-
on a
but-
Hall of Fame run.
But I think he learned that, and I think he said, and then we got to remember, a little while later, he brought in the guy everybody thought he was going to bring in.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
So
Christian Cage. I want to buy the Outwork Everyone. Well, he has the new one. I Worked Everyone.
worked
Yeah.
everyone.
That's
which
pretty
is-
good.
which is really good.
Him and Jungle Boy is gonna be a fantastic match.
Yeah,
It'll be
really
good.
fun.
It'll be very good.
I'm excited to see what happens with Luchasaurus going forward.
I'm hoping to see that he maybe can pull a little personality out of Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too. Because if
Mhm.
Jungle Boy comes back and he gives the same personality after everything Christian said, you're like, come on, dude.
Yeah, he had a little anger.
Yeah, you got to get something out of
Yeah,
him.
grow a
And, I
beard.
think they should, if he, a lot of people saying Luchasaurus might be his heater, then he a little bit of a repackage. You don't have to unmask him because I know he's not the best in the looks department, but maybe a new mask
I saw
and new
people.
character.
What was his character in Lucha Underground?
He was a dinosaur there too.
Yeah, it began with
Oh,
a
was it?
V. It was a different kind of reptile.
I was thinking he should be Tommy Rex. So he's T
Oh,
Rex.
yes, that's cute.
And have a lucha mask that's more traditional lucha, but
Yeah.
darker and evil looking.
Yeah. I hope they stay together as a tag team. I enjoy them as a tag team. But I think this all spun because they thought, bring Christian Cage in and then they'll be the final two in a Rumble just to kind of give a guy a spot to be in the final. And then everyone lost their fucking mind and was going for Jungle Boy over Christian Cage and like, wait, we got something here.
Yeah.
Like this, it's almost like the Chris Statlander where they put her in a match with Ruby as like she's good, but maybe the crowd's not super behind her. And then Ruby won. Everyone's like, no, we wanted Stat, and everyone's like, they're like, we didn't realize how over she was against somebody at that level that we thought would have been the person everybody would have went for. And now it's kind of like where the crowd is kind of dictating a storyline that because of the reaction they gave to the person in the ring.
That is somebody I would consider having be the person to beat Thunder Rosa. Chris
Yeah.
Statlander.
Yes, Statlander.
I would love it.
Speaking of her, I thought her little promo with Athena was cute last night on Dynamite.
I just got her autograph.
She came out and she kind
I
of
thought it
poked
was
fun at
pretty
Jade.
good.
Yeah.
Her autograph was
They
great.
executed it very well. Like they didn't miss a beat. That
Yeah.
whole, and you could tell there's a lot that they were remembering, and
Yeah.
they didn't miss a beat.
They didn't. I
And,
thought it was good.
They're gonna add a new baddie. It's like, who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares?
Why not just have it be Stokely? He's a baddie.
They need another girl. Like,
What,
Yeah.
what if Sasha's the new baddie?
oh god, that's probably what they're starting to start teasing.
Oh, yeah.
This-
you just started it.
This baddie is
I'm gonna
is
join this
money.
group where I'm the best person in it, but I'm not the leader.
I'm the boss.
She's the boss baddie.
She's the boss baddie. Yep. I was just gonna
not
say.
to be confused with
That was
Boss
the original
Baby.
team badge. She was the best
Yeah,
person in it, but not
copyright.
Yeah, true.
She'd be the supervisor. Baddie.
Yeah.
That doesn't have the same ring. to
America's
it.
Most Wanted is officially back.
All right.
Oh, are they wrestling AMW? No, America's Most Wanted. That is.
I'm not sure.
I don't know. I think
Uh,
Chris Harris came out at
yeah.
Impact with last.
And
week,
then John
before.
says Fabrio.
Vibora.
Vibola.
Yeah.
Vibora. Who's
Yeah.
that?
That's Luchasaurus.
Oh, that was
Oh,
given.
yeah.
Oh, then go back to that.
Thank you, John.
Yeah.
There's a
I don't know if
delay.
you
So
put it up, but
sometimes
Eric
we're
had a good thing in the chat. Eric Penn had. He with all the wrestling references, maybe that is a cue that is Johnny Wrestling that will be the mystery man. With all the wrestling references.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'm sorry,
And
Eric.
Danielson's
Yeah.
promo.
I think
What if it's
Johnny Wrestling.
Claudia Wrestling?
Yeah.
I would
Say
be-
Swiss wrestling.
I wouldn't be. And then and Johnny Gargano is going to be in that town that day doing an autograph signing. Like he's
He's like, I know only 5% of you believe me, but I'm going to be there just for that. I'm going to leave. I'm going to be there for 8 hours and then leave.
Yeah.
that they're on Burgundy. I don't believe you. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. If there's not a meeting happening sometime of that day, if he's in town and the
Oh, there already was a meeting.
yeah,
Or at least a phone call.
The only thing I'm thinking is if Triple H is really back in NXT.
Yeah, then he would.
And he is really going to have control. He's going to want Claudio. He probably want
Johnny
Claudio
back.
if he could, but he's going to want Gargano there.
a lot of people probably want to go back to NXT if Triple H is on.
I mean, Gargano would be the guy that would just fit right back into NXT.
that'd be the guy that Triple H would put.
But what would his
Yeah.
superpower be, or what would his magic thing be?
I don't know.
Speed.
He would be Jesus because he would save Tommaso Ciampa from being a
Endurance.
guy.
no,
who's-
yeah, I was about to say he'd be Iron Man.
Yeah.
he would be the
No,
savior.
I like the speed thing. Maybe he can run on water, and they could just have him. You could have Jordan Devlin driving his boat car
Yeah.
across the Atlantic, and then Johnny Gargano just runs alongside him.
And the
because
main
he's so
event can be a
fast.
race.
It would be a miracle because Tommaso Ciampa now is the guy who's already on the
Ugh.
ring when the commercial comes back
Tommaso Ciampa is
on.
on a rough spot.
Hey, they gave him a very quick match with Riddle. I don't know if it was the last week or the week
They
before.
came back from commercial. He was already in the ring. He's a
Yeah.
that's
You never want to be
jobber
the currently in the
status.
ring guy.
I get that, but like the way that they've booked the rest of his appearances have been out of nowhere.
When he lost AJ in 3 minutes.
Not matches, not matches. Him just coming out and attacking people out of nowhere.
But there's no payoff to
He
it.
is-
He's still
Yeah.
getting squashed.
He
Yeah.
is presented as a nobody.
Yeah.
They should do a thing
Should
where
put him with Edge.
they should do a
well,
thing
but-
where he's backstage at NXT and Apollo Crews comes up and goes, "You shouldn't have gone the wrong." way." It's like, where were you 4 months ago?
Yeah.
Remember when
That
you
would
said
be
you never
funny.
wanted to leave? You should have listened.
I look
Arkham
forward
says,
to
anyone
this.
know any news at Omega yet? Will he come back? No one knows
Not at
anything.
Forbidden Door.
He
They
will
would have
be
announced
back.
it already.
but no one
At
knows
some
when.
point, yeah.
And he said, walk through walls.
Don't you think he even comes out and makes a statement?
He
at
may do the
Okada?
Rob Van Dam at the
Yeah.
first
Yeah.
one night stand.
Like that's the opening thing. His music. He comes out. I wish I could be here, but I can't. Blah blah blah. But
I'm sure
coming.
he'll have a stare down with somebody.
Well, I mean, the four people
It depends
in that
how-
match, he's
how
straightened
belong he
bedfellows
is.
with all of them.
You know,
Yeah. I think him just coming out and having a stare down, even if it doesn't lead to a match
because
in a week, it's still like he was there.
I mean, how long did like? I mean, John Cena and The Rock did it for WrestleMania a year in advance. So I mean, you could, but I don't know.
I don't know if he's gonna be out another year.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be out in another year.
No.
But
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Could be out another 4 months.
Yeah.
I just be like Kenny go out and just do what they did on the closing.
What
of
is the
Dynamite,
latest
just
update on him?
Nobody knows anything.
medically?
His
They're-
nobody knows anything. Like the last rumor was his progress wasn't going as quickly as hoped.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're keeping that in the wraps.
But I think if anyone comes out, Punk comes out to look at the winner of Mox and Tanahashi, and then they tease that for next
They can do
pay-per-view. 'Cause he'll
another.
be back
They
by
can
the
do
next
another
pay-per-view.
25-minute stare down.
Yeah,
And then just like people throwing fake punches, like real bad fake punches at each
there was,
other.
yeah,
on the
there was some.
outside.
Yeah,
Yeah, Okada's punches didn't even look that good.
yeah.
I said like if I like for me as a first time New
He
Japan
didn't
fan,
look that impressive. No.
Tanahashi, you could tell is older
Yeah,
during the match. And then when Okada came out, I was like, what?
yeah. He did tower over everybody. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
But
How small is this roster? Okada's like 6'2".
but like what he did in the ring wasn't like
Nothing
it didn't blow
groundbreaking.
me.
No,
Yeah, it
yeah.
didn't blow
Well,
me away.
Okada's strength is not brawling.
Yes.
Yeah. So
If he would have thrown a drop kick, you would have been impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
that's a great point.
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean I'm not saying
That's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
yeah. But all right,
No, the
next
missed
match.
opportunity is not having the money rain down,
No, the
Yeah.
money
not
ring.
having him do the point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like his
You-
first appearance
Yeah.
since
His music's awesome.
His music is
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
All right, next match.
Can't believe I hear myself say this. I'm hearing myself say this, but I really, really wish that Pac and Malachi Black were not in this match.
Yeah, you got
It's,
half your dream match.
I got my dream match and then two other guys in it who are really good, but they shouldn't be in this match. It's Pac versus Miro versus Tomohiro Ishii versus Malachi Black.
Oh, they will square off one-on-one at some
I don't
point in
care.
this
It's not a match.
Yeah.
It's not a match.
It is a match. It's a four-way.
It's subtraction by addition when you add too many people into a match.
Yeah, I'd much rather the singles matches, but hey, four-way would be
Like,
good.
what is your favorite four-way match of all time? It's nowhere near as good as whatever it is. It's nowhere near as good as your favorite one-on-one match.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about a tag team match?
When it comes
Or
to
is that
That's not a
different?
four-way.
Okay.
when it comes to like going to an indie show, a lot of times the fucking four-way matches when it's fucking chaos everywhere are super
Yeah,
fun.
it's
Spot
good.
fest.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
good if
they're
you
fun.
want just spot after spot after spot.
But a
after
story
spot.
But Brian
between
saying
two
put that up
people.
against your favorite singles indie match.
And then it's just two guys doing spots for fucking.
No, there's singles. There's indie matches with psychology.
Yeah.
There are.
He's saying like the four-way match will never beat the singles match out of your favorite.
I just think with those four guys to say that it's not going to be good because it's too nuts.
It's going to be very good.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy. But
I would rather see Pac against Malachi Black one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
and Miro against
Yeah, me
Tomohiro
too.
Ishii one-on-one.
I understand.
And let's
it's
get rid of
only
some of
one
those
show.
six-man tags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
And
then we have a card where we're here till 5:30 in the morning.
No,
'cause
no,
it's all-
that's why we get
No.
rid of the six-man tags.
He's saying get rid of some of them. Yeah.
So do we have any picks for this? I know we had talked about it when
Miro.
when the belt first came out. We were thinking, oh, is this going to go to a New Japan guy?
Yeah.
It's not going to be Ishii.
No,
Yeah.
because
Ishii pretty much said he's done very, very soon.
Oh, okay.
I think he's in the G1. This is last G1. He said.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he'll,
Miro-
he'll still wrestle for probably a year.
Miro is where I'm leaning
Miro's your
towards.
champion after the end of this.
That's what you would think. I would like Miro, but I'm also gonna say Malachi Black is a good bet because they might want to throw some gold around that little. bit of
I think
stable.
Ishii
Or-
eats a pin, and I think eats it from Pac.
Okay, I can see that.
Ooh.
I think Miro might challenge your interim world champion.
Oh, it makes sense.
I'm cool with that.
I like that a lot.
Honestly, I
Mhm.
would nothing against Black, but I would rather Pac than or Black. As a
I
champion.
think that Malachi Black and Miro are too good for your number 3 belt.
Yeah, that's true.
They're both too
True.
good for your
Yeah.
number 3 belt.
I the only way I'd be surprised if Ishii wins, but he ain't winning.
All right, next match.
Winner takes all match for the ROH and IWGP tag team titles. The defending ROH champions FTR, the defending IWGP champions Great O'Connor and Jeff Cobb, and the defending Why Are They in This Match champions Roppongi Vice.
FTR.
I like Roppongi, but yeah,
They're good, but they shouldn't be in this match.
yeah.
Again-
If it's winner take
again-
all, it has to be
Again,
FTR.
subtraction by
Yeah,
addition.
just give all the belts to FTR.
This
The
would
theme
have
of
been
this show is subtraction by addition.
This would have been
More is more, pal.
No, it's not.
This would have been if it wasn't Punky Vice, it would have been the Bucks, and I feel the Bucks would have been this if
Well, the
Jeff
Bucks
Har-
are on the show.
if Jeff Hardy isn't getting arrested like DUIs.
Well, if they were, if the Hardy Boys were tag champions, I don't even know if they'd be on the show
Nah.
No, they wouldn't.
unless they were with Sting and Darby.
What I'm saying is the Bucks then have to take the titles to kind of
Yeah,
to get this a distraction off of the Hardy situation and become the new champions, and that's a talk is we have
Well,
new champions, 2-time
I
champions.
don't think necessarily.
And now they take themselves out of the Forbidden Door talk because they can't go in there and lose that title to FTR as well.
yeah, but I mean, but like the Bucks aren't in this match.
That's what I'm saying.
No, but he's saying
I'm
if-
saying they
if-
probably.
He's saying they're not in this match because they're the AEW tag team champions.
I
Oh.
think them taking.
But I think if the Hardy Boys had it, they probably wouldn't be in this match either.
no, I don't think so.
the
either.
Bucks may have been though because they can lose it.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
I feel
yeah.
like the Bucks would have been okay to win that spot as like,
They would have
ROH,
fit the
AEW.
connection.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But I
Makes
could.
sense.
Yeah.
And another match that would have been better is 2 singles matches. The IWGP title on the line. Adam Cole, Hangman Page, Kazuchika Okada, and Jay White.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been Okada against Adam Cole.
I don't know if I've ever
And Jay
seen.
White against Hangman.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen Okada in a multi-man match like this.
I don't think I've ever seen the IWGP title defended in a 4-way. A 3-way
I don't think
once or twice.
Yeah, I think once for 3-way. No, twice. Once that was a U.S. title. Once and 4-way never. I'm gonna say.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a fun match.
I hope there's tags.
Yeah.
Like you
That
have to
would be
tag in
good.
and
You
out.
have to tag in and
Yeah,
out.
for more New Japan based, and then at the end, obviously, it breaks it. Jay White probably keeps it.
Yeah,
I think Adam Cole's there to get pinned.
Yeah, I think Jay
Yeah.
White pins Adam Cole. Like they have that, they're working together whole match, and then Jay White turns on him.
Yeah,
Literally switches the blade on him.
Yep.
should be good.
Yeah, just again, I think it would have been better. It's 2 singles match.
Yeah.
I think it'd be fun booking if somehow Adam Cole walks out with it.
Well,
but-
there could be some shenanigans, and
I would say the chances of Adam Cole winning the New Japan title are absolutely zero. Nothing against Adam Cole.
I don't know if it's 0. I wouldn't say 0.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
2%.
Yeah, 2%.
The other 3 could die.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
don't know.
I don't
When
think it's 0 either.
He did a lot of like build up like before, like when he first got there, and everyone's like, well, this is bullshit that you're not a main guy. He goes, trust me, there's stuff in the pipeline that you're going to be talking about.
I don't think it's the IWGP title.
But
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
That's-
I think he was saying,
but,
I'm going to main event a pay-per-view, but then it was like,
Yeah.
but then it was, I'm going to main event a pay-per-view, and the real main event was going to be the match with a dog collar. in it.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Adam Cole has some tricks up his sleeve. I don't think I'm leaning more towards Jay White retaining, but I wouldn't.
I would be surprised if Hangman or Adam Cole win this match.
Yeah, I'd
I don't.
wouldn't-
extremely
I
surprised.
would say.
I
I-
don't even consider it.
I would say
No.
0% for
I
Hangman.
could see it going back to Okada, but then I
Yeah,
also
if the belt changes hand, Okada gets it.
I think
Yes.
it comes down to Bullet Club. It really does, because Bullet Club is kind of the story throughout the show. Throughout the link to Japan and AEW, Bullet Club is kind of the story there,
I could-
especially with Jay White's
indirectly, yeah.
especially with Jay White's promo saying none of this happens if it's not for me.
Yeah.
So why not use that as a red herring and put the title on Adam Cole?
Because
baby?
Adam Cole has not appeared on New Japan anything for 5 years, 4 years. Yeah, how long is he next?
Yeah, it wouldn't make much sense for him to be New Japan's champion.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine for the show, but
To them,
is he
If
going to
it
sell
was-
a Karrigan Hall going over there and
if it
wrestling
was
Penta?
maybe a smaller, like a lesser known belt, not
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
not the big time one.
If it was for the U.S.
No.
title, maybe.
Right.
yeah, the IC.
All I'm saying is you're talking about the same guy who said he was too small, too little to be the ROH champion. He's too small, too little to be the NXT. He's everywhere
it's
he's
not
went.
that he's
He's
too
been.
small,
He's
too
won the.
little.
He's
It's
won
not-
the big.
It's not that he's too small, too little. It's that he's not over in Japan.
Yeah,
He's over in the
and he
United
hasn't
States.
been there for.
Yeah.
Right. He hasn't shown his face there. He hasn't kept up an appearance there. Like they probably kind
But
of
most of the
swept him under
most of the
rug by now.
story has been New Japan guys coming to America and
Mhm.
coming to AEW. Someone's got to go the other way.
Here,
I just
how would you feel if
That's why I think it's orange.
Satoshi
going the other
Kojima
way.
won the
I-
AEW World Title?
I'd be fine with it.
You'd say no. You'd say, who the fuck is this? Why did he win the title?
Sure, but
how would
then
you
I'd
feel
be
if How would you feel if Toru Yano
Yeah.
won the AEW World title?
They're a
Would you
guy
be
that
okay
you have
with that?
no knowledge of.
if he put a good match on, I wouldn't care.
But you have
If-
no
if-
knowledge of
I'd
this
be,
guy coming
I'll
in
come
and winning
out
the
and say I'd
title.
be pissed. I'd be pissed.
How would you
I'll
feel
say
if Toru Yano won
I don't
the
know.
AEW
I
World
feel like
title?
there's a
Because-
different story there because Adam Cole at least
Adam
has links.
Cole's
He's
much
better than Toru
than
Yano, but I'm just saying, how would
Yeah.
you feel?
I wouldn't mind it.
He's a comedy wrestler.
I
He's a
don't-
joke guy. He's got sells bootleg DVDs. That's his gimmick.
But a guy that never appeared on Dynamite wins the AEW title.
I think it's statistically. I think if you look at who's in the match, I think it's 0 for Hangman. I would say.
I think Hangman has a better chance than Adam Cole.
I disagree.
At least they can say he was the AEW World Champion. Now he's the IWGP,
Yeah.
and that's not happening.
I think
either.
he has the same percentage chance of winning than Okada when it comes to like what
No.
I do.
No.
No,
I think they both have higher percentages than Hangman.
no. It's 90% Jay White, 10% Okada.
And if you take,
I'd say,
I
33%.
I'll say it's 90% Jay White, 5% Adam Cole, 5% Okada.
No way. Oh my God.
Wow.
If you were running New Japan, right?
Yeah.
And then they present this match to you, you say, I'm going to take my title belt and put it on a guy that hasn't been here for 6 years that is
What
signed to another
has New
company.
Japan done as relevant since the pandemic?
Nothing over here.
So what a great way to shake it up than bringing a new guy over and fucking and who
over here.
who's been a champion
Oh,
everywhere.
But they're not over here.
Right.
They're in Japan.
They're trying to break
Where in
into
Japan
here.
has he been a champion?
They're
Yeah.
trying to break into America as
It's
well,
not the New
right?
Japan Strong champion.
Yeah.
They are still
But are
going
they-
to be loyal to their New Japan fans.
Sure, and I'm just saying I'm with you 100% that it stays with Jay White, but I'm just saying it's not
You've gotta-
0%
you-
for Adam
You've
Cole.
got to understand that title in the almost 40 years it's been around, or
Mhm.
about 40 years it's been around, has
72.
how no, they didn't have that title.
Oh yeah, they didn't have it 70. Yeah, they had
How,
it.
you know how many people who aren't Japanese have won that title, right?
Not many.
6.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, 6 after.
Yeah.
Two recently. AJ
6.
and Kenny, and then Bob Sapp, and then
And Jay White.
Vader. Yeah, JY, yeah.
So
6.
out of the two recently
Yeah.
who've won it, brought a lot of new eyes to their product that are American.
And they were all established stars in that company.
Yeah.
Sure.
They didn't just throw it on a guy who hasn't been there for 5 years. And last time he was a junior heavyweight.
He's been there though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
5 years ago.
But he's been there. He's not fresh.
Okay, here we go. Jordan Devlin, he comes back. He beats Roman Reigns for the world title.
No, that's not his name anymore.
JD McDonough.
Was
JD
Jordan-
McDonough.
He was in 205.
JD
Jordan-
Oh, here's the even better one. Jack Gallagher comes back.
Oh.
Hasn't been on TV 5 years. Beats Roman Reigns and wins the world title.
was Jack, well, but once again, Adam Cole was part of the biggest stable in Japan at one point in time. He's
Yeah, but not.
No, but
Yeah, but he
that's
was
the
a
same link
secondary
that
guy.
I'm going on.
It was-
Yeah, but
it-
wasn't he more ROH than
Yes.
he was in New
Yes.
Japan?
but he was
Adam
but
Cole
he was
was
also
a very
walking.
minor part of New Japan.
He was
But
walking around New Japan with an ROH title, part of the biggest fucking stable. So to compare him
Nobody
with Jack
gave a
Gall-
shit. Nobody
comparing him
gave
to
a
Jack
shit about
Gallagher
Adam
is
Cole.
fucking apples and oranges.
No, it's they're both fruit. That's how you compare it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
I
see.
disagree.
I like that. I just see the focus being on Jay White. and
Jack
saying-
Gallagher, very good wrestler.
Sure,
You know,
I just see the
Who-
red
who's
herring
Jack now.
probably better MMA fighter.
potential, but as far as like company booking, I don't see any reason to take the belt off of Jay White.
Oh, I don't think it's leaving Jay White either.
But
to-
I
to
also
say that
see- I see
Hangman
your
Hunter Page
story.
has more of a chance to win it than fucking Adam Cole. I think is insane.
But,
Especially
I think they both have a 0%.
yeah, I
chance
think it's 0% chance.
or close as close as 0.
And they're both great wrestlers. It's
Yeah.
not that.
It's not a
just,
slight on either.
it's
of them.
just
If
New
it
Japan's
moves hands,
doing
it's
their
going
own
to
thing,
Okada.
and-
It's going back.
it's just like Tanahashi and winning, but we'll get there. If it's because it's
It would be like if it was Tanahashi against Punk
yeah,
and Tanahashi won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tanahashi is a legend in Japan.
But
Tanahashi is bigger than Adam Cole will ever be in the United States.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if you're looking
Japan.
at Japan, and I've never watched Japan, so I'm speaking of just strictly from American consumer thing.
Yeah, well, that's not
The only
yeah, that's
reason
not what-
I know anything about Japan is anytime an American guy goes over, and if your number one T-shirt seller and your number one merchandise,
Adam
and
Cole
your-
has never been their
and-
number one T-shirt seller.
I'm
or
not
never
saying
has
Adam
been.
Cole. Let me finish. I'm saying is every single time New Japan has had worldwide eyes on their product is when an American goes over and forms a stable or sells their merchandise or does everything they can. So this helps New Japan more than anything is coming over and doing this Forbidden Door, and I just don't.
New Japan's main focus is not America.
I disagree.
No, it's
You
not their
think-
main focus.
You think
Mm-mm.
New Japan's main focus?
You
is
think they
not
care more about
Japan?
expanding in America than being in Japan?
I think they want American eyes on their product.
Oh, of course they
100%.
do, but it's not their main focus.
Yeah, because they've had multiple attempts at that, but it doesn't last.
It
Sure.
doesn't work. It might work
because
now.
they never really had a big promotion in America to help them do that. And
Yeah,
now
it was called
AEW
WCW.
Yeah,
and now
WCW.
and now WWE not WWE AEW is that brand that's going to do that with them.
I
They had
think-
it. It was called WCW.
I
Yeah.
see Tony's point. I really do. But I think if it was the U.S. title, the Intercontinental, what's the other one? Not Limited.
Never.
Oh,
the
the
never.
Never.
The
That-
yeah,
never.
Anybody, I could win the never.
Yeah, I think Ryan did
I-
win the
I-
never
yeah, I did.
title.
I knew there was like one
Yeah.
minor one yet. It was one of those. Abso-freaking-lutely. I could see that happening. I think that would be a great thing, especially if it was a U.S. one. But I can't see the big time
No,
heavyweight.
especially
IWGP.
because, like the G1 tournament. Do you know how many non-Japanese people have won the G1? One.
One.
Do you, in the 25 year, no, how many years has it been? Like 27, 28?
1990.
And
Four,
how many
95?
of those winners have always been either Okada or the same three or
It's
four
been,
guys?
it's been around for 25 years.
But who,
Okada won it once or twice?
Yeah,
once or
only twice, I think.
Kota won it twice. Kenny won it once. Tanahashi won it 2 times.
3 times.
Yeah, 3 times.
He might be the most.
I think
I'm
it
sure
is.
Muda
So
won
at-
it back in the day.
at one
Chono
point, at
won
one
it.
point in
How
time
many
is-
people how many times has they, and it's been around since 94, so that's almost 30 years. How many times has a non-Japanese person been in the finals
Oh God,
of the tournament?
twice. Carl Anderson and
3.
Kenny. Oh, AJ.
Kenny, Carl Anderson, and way back in the original one, Rick Rude.
Oh, how about that? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. All I'm saying is if you're leaning on your Okadas and your Tanahashis and your Naitos over and over and over and over again, you're going to either need new blood and are
Well, for
the
them,
guys.
their new blood is Jay White.
Yeah.
That's their new blood.
What I'm saying is you have that one guy there. You need more faces and eyes and attention on your product. I mean, I don't know much about New Japan. I don't know who their young boys coming up are, who they have. But it seems like they lean heavily on America, on US and global talent more than they lean on the Japan guys.
It would be a hell of a swerve. I would say that it would be a hell of a swerve if it actually happened.
Yeah, it would also be a hell of a swerve, if like
bro.
Huh?
Swerve,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah.
Swerve for swerve's sake.
Bro, nobody wants to see the Japanese.
Yeah.
It's Japan, Vince. I don't care.
Yeah.
No one wants to see the Japanese.
Not even in Japan.
You know who should be the IWGP champion? Jeff Jarrett.
I vote a lot of F's. Everyone up.
Okada.
I'm sure I probably meant Okada typo.
Sorry, Okada thing is, and imagine Tony's face if he ends up winning. No, I don't think I'm right that Adam Cole's going to win the title.
It would be like if they cut Akira Tozawa. Akira Tozawa became a big star in New Japan. Somehow New Japan starts working with WWE, and Tozawa beats Roman Reigns.
Yeah, that would be exactly the same.
I think what you're saying is you can make all the comparisons you want, but every single person you compared didn't go to every single company and won.
But he's saying he did in this scenario.
And won the main title. And won the main title.
Who gives a shit? They don't care. They don't care that Adam Cole is NXT champion.
Who cares who won New Japan Cups and G1s and titles?
The Japanese. New Japan
the Japanese.
So it may okay, whatever.
It's just like Japan doesn't care who won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
It's like they're going to people who aren't buying tickets. Like, you don't understand this. It's Adam Cole. He beat Killer Cross.
Yeah.
Who?
Who?
But I'm saying is you're making
Johnny Gargano.
You're making comparisons to guys
he won the ROH
to
title.
Diminish Adam Cole and saying his opportunities and his chances.
I'm
saying Adam.
Yeah,
every company
if you're
Adam
New
Cole's
Japan,
been,
if you're a Japanese
he's been
fan,
the top guy.
Yeah, but if you're a
I'm
Japanese
saying
fan,
you're overrating how much New Japan people care about who won the ROH title 10 years ago.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They care about their own
New
company.
Japan didn't care about the American audience, then why are we talking Forbidden Door?
They care. They don't care enough to put their world title on the guy who's a non-factor in their company.
We literally just talked for months about possibly Daniel Bryan at some point possibly winning the New Japan title.
being the G1.
They would have had if they would have put him in the G1 and he wins the G1. That's 10 matches, and he wins their world title 6 months later. That's a build-up.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
Not,
if Adam Cole goes over and wins the G1 and then goes on to Wrestle Kingdom win the world title,
that's different.
Okay.
Hey, remember that guy who was on the third match 5 years ago? Oh, you don't? Well, he's your champion now anyway. All right.
Just because like it's the same thing in like a WWE perception. Like you can't just have that storyline happen and then nothing happens.
Well, no, they
for 5
did that.
years.
And this is why Tony wants this, because that was how Jinder Mahal won the world title.
Yeah.
That's what it all comes back to. Hey, remember that jobber from 3 years ago? He's your world champion now. I love it.
That's true.
I thought he was a fun character.
Oh, the promos while he was champion were not.
You don't
good.
understand how many indie world titles Jinder Mahal won in India.
No, I just think it's
Zero.
crazy that
He's
we're
Canadian.
comparing Adam Cole to like low-level guys who haven't done anything.
Because
and we're
in
saying
Japan-
it's unbelievable.
In Japan, that's what he is.
Yeah,
and
it's a perception
to
thing.
90% of the people who that now are all of a sudden in America who love New Japan, like that you're not the majority of the people who 90% of the people who are watching this product.
Did you hear that pop Okada got when his music hit?
Sure,
He got
because
the pop.
because a lot of AEW fans are people who are all of a sudden now love Japan because their best friend
They
told
loved it
them.
before.
Yeah.
They loved it before.
Yeah.
That's the niche audience.
I think a
This
lot
is-
of
this
people,
is one
I think
thing
a lot
that
of people are
I-
fake fans.
I
I'm
will
just saying.
bet you every dollar I own that Adam Cole would not get that pop in Japan if his music hit.
Mhm.
Probably not.
Mhm. This is one thing that irked me with the Jim Cornette podcast this week.
Oh,
how
God,
how
no.
much? No, I'm gonna be side with you for a hot second. It irks me that he always says the New Japan guys are nobodies. That people tune in and they're like, well, who the hell is this? And then tune right
But
back
to
out.
a lot of American people, they are
They
nobodies.
are
That's why I'm
nobodies. but-
saying they shouldn't, like, if Punk didn't get hurt and they had Tanahashi beat Punk for the AW World Title, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Why'd you do that? That's dumb.
Just once again, I'm not saying Adam Cole is winning the title. I'm just saying he has a higher percentage than Hangman Adam
If he
Page.
does win this title,
Well,
you know
that'd be
you have to
stupid,
go
too.
on TikTok and like cut a big promo. You know that.
No,
You know who
You
should do
should.
that? Adam Cole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Maybe you should become Adam Cole's handler.
And speaking of Adam Cole and Britt said they're not carrying the belts around anymore because there's too many belts.
Yeah.
They came up with that, not
Thank God.
the world.
They actually said that.
Yeah, somebody, one
I
of them
think
said
carrying.
God.
I think a week or two after you win, it's fine. But I think at some point in time, you have to leave.
yeah.
Mhm.
If it's not being defended, it's not.
Sure. Yeah. Promote it for a couple weeks. Walk around with a title, but you don't. If you're Adam Cole, you don't walk around with a title. You don't defend.
Yeah. 'Cause
It doesn't do anything for you as an
asking
image.
for-
Unless you're going to use
defend
it as a weapon.
Exactly. It makes zero sense to walk around with it anymore.
And then your main event of the show for the interim AEW World Championship, Hiroshi Tanahashi against Jon Moxley.
should be very good, but you're not going to put the belt on Tanahashi and then he leaves for a month. So your
Yeah.
interim champion is also not available.
Yeah.
Plus, at this point in his career, do you think he can walk around with a world title?
Yeah, he could be the IWGP champion.
Yeah, but
A
it would be
reign.
short reign. But I don't see him winning it
Yeah.
No.
at all.
No.
When he beat Kenny,
Tanahashi
uh,
is better than what you saw in that match.
Yeah, that match was not the best showcase of Tanahashi, even at his age now. Not that he's real old. I mean, Tanahashi.
It's like 45.
Yeah.
It's a great way to get him
Put a lot
exposure,
of miles up for it.
exposure to new audience, and then for fans to get super matches they want. And that's what it's there for.
Yeah, I know Moxley really wants the match.
Yeah.
So. It would be very good.
And they're going to put it back on Mox. Mox carried them through
Yeah,
the
first-
pandemic era as a good champion. People were invested in Mox even through the pandemic. So they're
People
going
are-
to throw out.
And
they're-
people are invested in him now because of all the sobriety talk and his rehab talk.
Yeah,
And he
I
shows
think-
up
I think-
everywhere.
I think Mox is just a charismatic, and I know because I like Mox myself. I'm a big Mox fan. I think he's charismatic, and he just handles it really good. He has a little bit of everything to.
He's
offer
genuine.
people.
I mean,
He's
if
genuine.
Punk's
Yes.
hurt,
Thank you.
Danielson's hurt, then who else do you put it on? You probably put it on Moxley.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If not, then what?
You know,
Jericho.
I know I would put it on. Mystico.
See, there you go.
Why not? He's a big star in Mexico. Put it on him. You know how many titles he's won in Mexico?
A lot.
AAA,
And-
CMLL,
and-
Ultimate
no,
Dragon.
wait.
Yeah.
Which Mystico?
the original.
Yeah, Carlistico.
Well, no, he's the original Mystico was Caristico.
Yeah.
And now he's Mystico
because he got the gimmick. Yeah,
'Cause he's back in-
because
he's
he went
back
back
in
to the
Consejo,
place
yeah.
that owns the gimmick.
Yeah.
That's a whole.
I think just
show.
Daniel Bryan should hold every single title in the world.
Well, that's
He's
Yeah.
injured.
Who
Other than
cares?
that, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
You know,
Just hold
You're winning me over.
Daniel Bryan holds
I
every
like the cut
single
of your
title
jib.
in the world.
Yeah.
And FTR holds every tag team.
Yeah,
that's fine.
And that's pro wrestling.
I'm
Everyone
good.
should model themselves after them.
I'm good.
And no variants of anything else.
You can have variants. Just
No.
Put 'em on-
No one can have any gimmicks. Everyone has to come out with tights and trunks and throw elbows and butts.
Everyone should come out with tights. I do agree with that.
Yeah,
Everyone
everyone,
should have gear, unless your gimmick is something. But even then, I'm like, I guess
unless you're the Sandman.
everyone should be NXT UK when it first joined, and everyone should have
All right.
undercuts and beards, and, and everyone look exactly the same and have no variant in what
Hey,
they
I
do.
like the undercut look. I still like
Yeah, I
that
think- I think-
prohibition look.
I think not 90% of your roster should all have the same exact look and same gimmick and everything. I think that's what we need. And Jim Cornette will love it, and then everyone would be okay with it.
Why would Jim Cornette love that?
Jim Cornette is a gimmick.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, he don't like gimmicks.
No, he likes gimmicks. He doesn't like stupid gimmicks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like silly
Well,
gimmicks.
the gimmick scale changes on week to week with everybody. Like, well, this gimmick's okay, but this one's not.
It's
No.
pretty consistent.
No.
Yeah.
He still calls Luchasaurus
Yeah,
Dino Dude.
Still hates Orange Cassidy. I mean, Orange Cassidy's very good. I
Pockets.
like him.
I like
Pockets.
Orange Cassidy.
Yeah, I like Orange
Yeah,
Cassidy.
I do
Hates Orange
too.
Cassidy, but
That kinda
you know,
stuff
I would
kinda
never
gets
make
under my
Orange
nerves.
Cassidy my world champion if I'm on a national television show.
No.
But
Yeah.
I like Orange Cassidy. There's a place.
secondary title, yes.
All right, let's get into our main topic.
Tanahashi. We
Japanese-
just talked about him.
Every time I ever heard him is Japanese John Cena. That's what everyone tells me.
Yeah. How JR came up with Bret Hart, I don't
Yeah.
know where he gets that. There is
No.
other than both being very good wrestlers. That's where the
Now, if you were
comparison
to
is.
say Katsuyori Shibata, the
Yeah.
Japanese Bret Hart.
Yeah, that makes more
They have
sense.
a first name and a
he
last
takes
name.
himself super seriously, and he
No.
has six,
No.
and he has
No.
six
Not at
moves.
all.
Oh, I'm just saying if he's Bret Hart.
There's literally, aside from both being very good wrestlers and multi-time world champion, that's it.
Yeah.
That is it.
Their style really is.
Notice who's on my
completely
WrestleMania.
different.
Yeah, Bret Hart. They share
Bret
zero
Hart,
moves.
Anvil, and not Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, I
Roddy
mean,
Piper.
It also has fucking the Ultimate
Wow.
Warrior and Jake the Snake Roberts. So
And you know what's
I
funny?
liked it because it had Snake on it.
Here's how dork it has WCW Macho Man and
Yeah.
the rest are WWE
Yeah.
ones.
yeah, your shirt's invalid.
Yeah. So I don't know where he gets that. Tanahashi does the clover leaf. Bret Hart does
First off,
structure. Different.
Jim the Anvil Neidhart's on your shirt with
That's
Bret
why
Hart.
I liked it.
Who's
I'm
on
like,
that shirt?
Anvil's on
Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Who? Yeah. Who?
exactly.
Who is on there?
Well, that's why I liked it. It had
Brett's
a
on
bunch
there
of
as a
people that
tag team.
Weren't
Just put it
like,
out there.
Yeah.
Technically.
I like
Yeah.
it.
People
Snake.
in
But that's
tag
not-
teams can't be main
Brett-
event
Brett
wrestlers.
and
That
Yeah.
would never
I'm
happen.
Yeah.
just saying, you're trying to put him over
And
as
then-
he's the singles guy, but he's on there with Jim the Anvil Neidhart.
No. that's Bret Hart with the black jacket. He never wore that jacket with the
Yeah, and Macho Man never wore the Black Madness gear in WrestleMania.
Yes, that's not technically a tag team. That's WCW Macho Man,
Yeah.
World Champion Bret Hart,
That's
random
actually
Jim
that's
Neidhart,
actually like Intercontinental Champion Bret Hart.
yeah,
I only
and
got-
WrestleMania 6 Warrior.
Hey,
And
I
it's
got it.
it's post comeback Roddy Piper because he has the long hair.
Yeah,
I got it for $7 at Kohl's. What do you want?
yeah, it's a cool shirt. I like
I
it.
think you paid $4 too much.
I was just in Kohl's today. How'd you find something for $7?
Yeah.
I was
Because,
going to close. I'm like,
because
No.
I'm a cheapskate and I get all the coupons and the like
Oh,
Kohl's
okay.
cash.
Got that Kohl's
and-
cash, yeah.
Mhm.
That's hilarious. Like, you looked at it for you brought attention to your shirt. I was like, that Macho Man don't belong there.
That's when you know wrestling. He never wore that in WWE.
I honestly didn't even know.
Follow us on Instagram when we take
meanwhile, I'm wearing
and
the shirt of
Brett
Jushin
Manville. I
Liger.
was like, that's sold.
And Jushin Liger should have beaten Diesel for the WWE
Yeah.
title in 1995.
When you look at our photos that we post on social media after the show's over, you can see we're talking about Kelly's shirt. It's all over the place.
It's the first time Eric's in the chat and I don't have my Diamond City War Machine
No.
shirt on.
He's been in the chat.
No, he's been in the chat when
Yeah.
you were.
yeah, that's what I mean. It's the first time though that he's in
Oh.
the chat and I don't have it on.
All right.
So let's talk about what Hiroshi Tanahashi has accomplished in his career.
We went long there, but it was Forbidden Door. It was a lot of topic.
No, it
A lot of
was-
matches as
It
well.
was all about Adam Cole being the IWGP champion.
I like
It was a hell of a debate.
debates are fun. That's what we're here for.
So let's run down the stats here really, really quickly. An 8-time IWGP champion, which is a record. 3-time IWGP US champion, which is a record. 2-time Intercontinental champion, 3-time tag team champion, 1-time never openweight champion, 3-time never openweight 6-man champion, 3-time G1 Climax winner, 2-time New Japan Cup winner. Has the second most days and defenses of the IWGP title at 1,396 days and 28 defenses.
Yeah, so the pause real quick. In New Japan, they do it like when you win
That's like one Roman reign.
when you win the world title,
Reigns.
you they count the defenses. So they'll be like, okay, now he's making his first defense,
And this becomes a
then
big
second
thing in his
defense.
career.
Yeah.
Huge.
So then, like after a while, Okada he's at his 13th defense because they don't have weekly television. So it's not like you're defending the title every week.
Imagine that.
Yeah, yeah. You're defending on the pay-per-views, the big shows. So it becomes a big thing. Like,
Do
oh,
they
he's
not do weekly television because it doesn't draw as much, or like what's the?
I
They do have like weekly TV, I think, but because TV Asahi, Asahi, they own part of New Japan World, so they're
yeah, they don't have like a Monday Night Raw.
So here's
is what I'm
another
saying.
question for you.
it's almost like a special, like a boxing event used to be
Sure.
in the United States.
But how much is pop culture and television a factor in Japan? Like they're a very hardworking country. Like how
Yeah,
much of
TV.
it is dictated to? Because we just talked about when we were off camera. Like when you look at like what cultures watch TV the most, one of the lowest viewership in America for television is the Asian market. They're just not TV consumers. Like how much? Like
No, it's fairly high. Like back in the day, like New Japan's peak was in the 90s, and when they would have matches, it would be like NFL level ratings or like NBA Finals level
Sure,
ratings here.
but also is it because they're so sporadic that it makes when they do have
Well,
it a
I don't
big
think they have
deal?
as many options. There's probably not as big of a cable network in Japan as there is here. There's probably fewer channels.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Um,
Is television a priority over there like it is in the States? Where
No, I think that they're very live event driven still, and they still do. But the New Japan World is a big thing for them too, and their TV partner owns part of it and part of the company. Like a
Yeah,
very small-
I don't think they
Yeah.
have many sports over there, do they?
Baseball.
Oh, baseball's huge.
Yeah,
Baseball.
baseball's
Baseball's
really
very
big.
big.
It's
Yeah.
basically baseball, sumo.
Mhm.
But once again, they're also like, do they pack every? I don't know. I'm just trying to like. So like Japan,
think
they're-
they-
Well, I
Are
think
you
in
saying-
general, it's not as much of an entertainment culture as America is. America
Yeah.
is entertainment.
that's what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah.
they Japan will go out and let's go to an event and go see something
Mhm.
where America's like, well, I can just watch it on TV and stay home.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but maybe because the shows are they do better because they're not on every week.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But
What are they on, like every other week or once a month?
Think about it more like UFC. Think about
Yeah.
New Japan has worked UFC. They don't have cards all the time, but the TV specials do well,
Mhm.
and they sell tickets for it. But it's not like a weekly thing.
Okay.
I mean, UFC currently is a weekly thing.
They have like fights every week on TV.
I think so. I think like isn't like well, at
They
least
did
one.
for a while. They had like the Friday night fights.
I think the pandemic before the pandemic
All right,
they were
yeah,
weekly.
They're
every,
a UFC that hasn't overexposed to stuff like UFC did.
yeah. The whole pandemic hurt everything. Like before the
Yeah.
pandemic, UFC was weekly, where they're like, hey, this is
UFC was also horribly overexposed.
Yeah.
Horribly
go back
overexposed.
UFC before Ultimate
don't
Fighter
know,
got
either.
took off.
Like
Mhm.
UFC, or UFC even with the Ultimate Fighter, because you had your fight nights a couple of times a year.
yeah. Well, the
Then you
fight
had
nights
their
were like
pay-per-views.
they were making fight nights weekly.
Yeah, that's overexposure.
Mhm.
I mean, every other sport's on weekly.
Football's on 52 weeks a year. The NFL doesn't have an off season.
Well, they don't have an off season,
Plus
but also it's
same
different because
people
they're
don't.
one-on-one competitors, and you have a huge roster. You
Yeah,
can put.
no, I get it. No, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but is UFC as buzzy as it was 5 years ago?
Definitely not
even
10
close.
years ago.
Not even close.
I think what hurt UFC's exposure is going to you have to like have ESPN Plus to watch it, and it's not really
And you
on
still
cable
have to buy
television
the,
anymore.
But
And you still have to pay for a pay-per-view.
But that doesn't. No, and it's also just it's on too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They burn themselves. They burn their fans. A lot of their fans. They burn me out. I haven't watched UFC fight in 5 years.
It was something special when you caught some sort of rerun on Spike or something 10 years ago when you saw UFC. It was like, oh my God, UFC's on.
I got burned out. A lot of people got burned out.
Well, there's only so many times you can watch someone actually punch someone in the face.
No.
Lay
If
on
it's
someone.
captivating and interesting, and you care about the people. It's interesting. But anyway, we're talking about Tanahashi.
Yeah, sorry.
So he was noticed by New Japan Pro Wrestling while freestyle wrestling as a law student at I'm going to butcher this name, Mikan, I don't know, University. It's one of Japan's 4 largest private
I can't
universities.
because it's on my phone. I don't have Telegram on my iPad.
And originally he was a big baseball fan. He wanted to be a baseball player. Like we said, baseball is probably the most popular sport. in Japan.
I'd say so.
Um,
Sumo Pride #2.
And but he really showed more prowess in wrestling, and then he joined on with New Japan Pro Wrestling and gave up a possible law career as well. When he came up, he wanted to be called Dragon Hiroshi as an homage to one of his favorite wrestlers, Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami. He was also a big fan of Shawn Michaels. Once told
Smart guy.
Once told Sports Illustrated, he loves our business. He loves wrestling. Speaking of Shawn Michaels, he's retired now, which makes me sad, but he's my dream opponent and idol.
Wow.
He's not going to lose to you, Hiroshi. Get it out of your head.
Yeah, come on, Tana.
They're going to book Michaels at Tokyo Dome. And it's like, oh, yeah, you're going to lose to Tanahashi. Oh, that's fine.
I can't make it.
You could see the comparison.
He calls up. I was in a plane crash. No, you weren't.
Yeah.
No
yeah,
plane
what?
crash. No, it was a crash. 15 Navy SEALs paratroopered on.
You know what's crazy? Joe, we always joke about it, but the last PPW show, I got a chance to sit and talk with a former NXT star, and I like every time if I'm working with someone who's at NXT, if at a PPW show, I say like, all right, how is Sean? And everyone so far, but this one really sat and like told me more about it. He's like, he's very well aware of his past, and he's very well aware of who he was as a person. And that's one of his biggest things when he sits down and talks to talent is like, don't do that. Like, don't be that guy. Like, there's better ways to handle yourself. Because he's booking, and they may have to ask him to lose at some point. So he's gonna,
He doesn't
when I
want to
ask you to lose, please don't do what I did. Just lose,
he doesn't want to
please.
deal with himself.
Yeah.
No, he
I wouldn't wanna
realizes
deal
that
with
he
him
was
either.
a giant drug addict and an egomaniac, and now he's just trying to help change the game and the business of who they are now. I think that's pretty cool. Like that he's very self-aware of it. Like, and the biggest thing they said he's so self-aware of, and he jokes about it all the time, is his eye.
Oh,
No.
man.
They can't help.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not his fault.
So,
But again, I do see the comparison though of showman, showstopper, and then
Yeah, if you could take like Tanahashi from about 5
Yeah,
years ago versus Shawn Michaels from like 2004.
Oh my god.
Yeah, or when did he come back when he was really good?
2003. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean,
his secondary Hall of Fame career.
that is something where like that even made the whole Bret Hart comparison. Like, no, Tanahashi's way closer to Shawn than Bret.
yeah.
Way closer. Like when they talk about the Japanese John Cena, they're not talking about his style. They're talking about
Accomplishments.
his
Yes.
impact on the.
Speaking Bret Hart, when Jim Ross said that, he goes, "I got one word that reminds me of Tanahashi reminds me of Bret Hart." He's like, "That's two."
He's trying.
So even as a young lion, they did have some hope for Tanahashi. They knew they had something there. He did have his first match on October 10th, 1999, losing to Shinya Makabe. In 2001, he got a win over Scott Hall.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because Scott Hall went over and said he wanted to put him over.
And
Awesome,
2000 got a win over Negro Casas.
Oh, wow.
Is this mustache Scott Hall?
No, this is
No, that was
post
the 80s.
NWO.
No.
Yeah, this is Scott Hall toward the end. No, his mustache was the 80s.
So Tanahashi started. It's probably what 2000 or
99.
99.
started.
Yeah.
He was a young.
Really?
That was when he was a young lion. The black trunks, no knee pads.
Well, you got to think 2000,
When did Cena
21 years ago.
05, 04?
When did Cena start?
Yeah.
02 was
02?
his first match.
That was when he
Yeah.
was on TV, though.
So
Yeah.
He was starting around 99.
Mhm.
Yeah, true.
So him and Tanahashi are almost breaking at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cena got there quicker, a little quicker.
Yeah.
So
Well, one guy's wrestling and he's in a law firm, and the other one's a super bodybuilder.
he was a law
athlete.
student.
Yeah. What I'm saying is one guy in
one of them
America.
was trying to be a lawyer, one was trying to be an actor.
Yeah.
And they both
Yeah.
got into wrestling.
actor slash bot. I mean, yeah, body.
Yeah.
He was a body guy.
He was in LA to do auditions. He got scouted by Rick Bass and he said, "Hey, do you want to learn how to wrestle?" He said, "Sure."
Yeah,
And it worked out for him. So good for John Cena. No, seriously,
And
John Cena's awesome.
and he's a great actor.
And now his dreams of being an actor
Yeah.
is coming true, and he's actually getting better and better with every movie. So good on him.
Yeah, nothing bad to say about John Cena.
Oh.
Mhm.
So he came up. Tanahashi came up with two other guys that became big stars in New Japan: Shinsuke Nakamura, who
Mhm.
we know very well, and Katsuyori Shibata, who. When you're in a company like New Japan that prides itself on wrestling and your nickname is the Wrestler,
Yeah.
that has everything you need to know about Katsuyori Shibata.
Which one's Shibata?
He's the guy that got the headbutt and he was out for like.
Oh,
Yeah.
was he the diving headbutt guy?
No, he got headbutted by Okada.
yeah, they had a world title match, and I think Shibata.
Who's
no,
the guy that
no.
literally used his head in almost all of his moves and then like fucked him? Like he's
Hanma.
fucked and he's fucked up.
Well, Hama, yeah, but Hama had some type of accident and he
Yeah.
he
That
was
was-
paralyzed and he walk again.
Yeah.
No, Shibata was the headbutt and the blows, and it was everything over the years. Just finally got to him. He had a concussion real bad. He almost died.
Really?
Yeah.
He had a comeback match, but it was like it's not the same.
Yeah.
He's more of a trainer now. So anyway, they were calling themselves the new Three Musketeers, and the Three Musketeers in Japan. That was Keiji Muto, the great Muto, who was Tanahashi's mentor, because I think he was running the dojo back then. Masahiro Chono was another big star, some crossover with WCW, and Shinya Hashimoto, who was a huge star in New Japan.
All world champions.
All world champions, even though Chono only won it once.
Yeah.
I think I'm only familiar with Muda.
Hashimoto kind of looks like Samoa Joe body wise.
Yeah, he
He
passed away.
always had
very
like
young,
black
too.
and white and red paint. He'd always wear a headband. So you ever see like the old the virtual pro wrestling? There's like kind of a guy that's a little fat, but he has a headband.
Mhm.
That's Hashimoto.
And they were called the Three Musketeers. We even called that in Japan when they all went on an excursion together, or in Mexico rather, when they all went on an excursion together. And they were like just kind of how they talk about the four pillars in all Japan. They were like the New Japan version, but they were the Three Musketeers. And so Tanahashi and this group, Nakamura and Shibata, were kind of dubbed the new Three Musketeers, which put a lot of
Yeah.
pressure on them early, and they wound up living up to it.
Yeah.
That's essentially in America terms. Let's calling some of the new Four Horsemen.
Kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
And adding Four Horsemen always worked.
If all the Four Horsemen were world champions.
Yeah, I don't think Shibata ever won it, did he?
Yeah. No, he never won. He probably would have.
He would
had
have.
he not
gotten
gotten injured.
So he enters the G1 Climax, Tanahashi, in 2002. He went 2-3, but he had a big win. He beat another legend, Kensuke Sasaki, in a minute 40.
Power warrior. He was
Yeah.
on Nitro. He
Mhm.
tagged with Hawk.
He was a
Yeah.
former WCW US champion.
Yeah. For a while, he was managed by Tennessee Lee / Rob Parker.
And by Sonny Ono.
Did
Yeah.
Muda? Did he always have like the face paint? Like was that-
No, that was a gimmick he would use now and then, and he used mainly, and he always used outside of Japan. But in Japan, he was usually Keiji Muto, unless he went to like, it was almost like the demon thing with Finn
Yeah.
Balor. Sometimes the Great Muta would come out, and then it was like, oh, you're in trouble now.
Okay.
And then people didn't like it because he wrestled differently. They preferred the way he would wrestle as Muto because it was more like pure wrestle, which is their style of wrestling.
Yeah.
I just
So-
like the Poison Mist. Just fucking every.
Yeah, he would. So Kenji Muto wouldn't spit poison mist. Only Great Muto can spit
Yeah.
poison mist.
I think Poison Mist should be in every company.
And
I think
plus-
one guy in each company should have Poison Mist.
And his poison mist had different powers depending
Yeah.
on the color.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I learned that on this podcast actually. So that's pretty dope. One's like paralyzing, right? You said
Yep.
one's
Yeah.
blinding,
One
Black
burns,
Mist,
yeah.
paralyzed.
one burns. It's fucking dope.
One
Poison
was
Mist,
blind. Yeah, all
Poison
blind.
Mist, hands down, probably my favorite. I love that Asuka has it. I don't know.
I think she's used it a long time, but yeah, she has
Was
used
it
it.
recently? She just
It's
hit
more of
Becky
a
Lynch
heel
with it.
thing. Yeah, it's more of a heel thing.
Yeah.
No, she did use it.
I could see Balor using it since they're going that supernatural route with and
He might
being
cough
the
up
main
blood or something.
Yeah.
They're going on the route that they're on main event right now.
Yeah,
That's
ooh,
a
yeah.
bad route to take.
Oof.
So real life interrupted Sasaki Tanahashi's wrestling career. He had a breakup with a news reporter.
Real life did interrupt
Yeah.
Sasaki's career set.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. But no, Tanahashi as well. He was dating a TV news reporter, TV assigned news reporter Hitomi Hara. But he told Hitomi Hara that he was seeing another woman.
Well, Tanahashi, very good looking man. Let's put that out there. I know some people might not like Japanese men. But he's very
There's that Sean comparison again.
Also,
No,
this-
if I had to pick between him and Okada would.
Hey,
Oh, I'm picking
Let me tell you
Shibata
something.
out of
New
all of
Japan,
them.
New Japan, a lot of good looking men.
He's no Coda, but
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you
No, I don't even care for.
I don't think
Okada.
you're aware
I'll
of
take Okada.
of a guy named Sonata either.
Oh, true.
I mean, what's his name? Between the two that were on TV this week, the guy that we're talking about has way cooler hair.
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that's his
yeah.
thing.
That's the
Tanahashi,
rock
yeah.
star.
Tanahashi has way cooler hair.
Go on.
Who was the guy that was in? I know we're going back to UFC, but who was a Japanese guy in UFC that literally looked like a fucking supermodel?
I don't remember.
Oh my god! Maybe it wasn't
Maybe it was Bellator.
I don't remember. I didn't go ahead.
Takayama.
Takayama, Sexy Yama.
Yeah.
That's a good looking Japanese man. He's
But not Jun Takayama.
dude.
No,
This sexy.
Jun Akiyama.
Everyone called
Oh,
him
Jun Akiyama.
Sexy Yama.
So Tanahashi is dating this reporter, and they tells her he's seeing another woman, and she stabbed him twice in the back.
Good for her. Women be
Now,
crazy.
hang on a second.
Well, her plan,
Tanahashi, all right?
her plan was to do that after do that to kill herself. She said, but she didn't do it.
Ugh.
So she goes on trial. She
No,
was,
it's definitely not Takayama.
you're
Takayama's the guy that fought Don Fry.
No, there's a different Takayama.
I was gonna say, oh
There-
boy.
Look,
Oh yeah,
you,
that Takayama.
yeah, that Takayama was also the IWGP champion. I forget his name, but you're thinking there's a look up UFC Takayama. He's a different Takayama. Hara was initially sentenced to 3 years in prison. It was converted to 4 years probation. The judge took leniency on her, saying, "quote She committed the crime only after becoming emotional."
Well,
Yeah.
true.
True.
Can't
I
argue
mean,
that.
You hear, "Oh, I'm dating another woman," when you think he's dating just you. Get a little pissed off there, you know.
Absolutely.
A little pissed off. This
But
is
like, there's
bad.
no like intent to murder. It's not even like it was like self-defense either.
I'm gonna give him a nice
Yeah,
cut right along.
If
the
it's a
cheek.
stab in the back,
Although like it very well could be self-defense, because if you break it down more, if he's having like actual relations with other people, that could lead to diseases not known to the other person. For real, that could lead to
Yeah,
potential.
so stabbing is
yeah.
Stabbing is okay, says Austin and Kelly.
yeah. Oh boy.
We are now
Use the-
condoning. Me and you are now condoning stabbing.
If you're
I
using
don't
the
look so
back end
bad
of
for
a
condoning
knife.
robbery.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this podcast is just
We're condoning violence all the way around.
Jesus.
Yeah. Cheating equal with attempted murder.
Yeah, that's
Here
the
you
map
go.
that was broken down.
The giant Bada was a hot.
Oh God.
All right.
That's your dad.
Giant Baba, very highly respected, not a good wrestler.
He had a very good bone structure.
He was also like 7 foot.
So when he was stabbed, did he get like physically hurt? Like any
He was out for
nerves?
about 4 months.
Yeah.
He wound up being okay.
Oh, so it's like the John Cena stabbing.
yeah, except this one was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't stabbed in a nightclub by
Like,
Jesus.
What was he? Does it say like what he stabbed with?
No. I'm gonna guess some kind of knife or
Yeah,
scissors.
probably.
Well,
nice
no, I'm
steak
saying
knife.
what I'm saying like a steak knife rather than like a butcher.
Oh yeah.
Butcher knife you
Well, he
can't really do
lived.
much with.
Yeah.
Or if it were just like keys, whatever was close.
Yeah, maybe
to her.
maybe it's something.
Dude, like
A very
I
sharp fingernail.
I knew a dude who got stabbed with a butcher knife in the stomach,
Ugh.
like multiple times.
Jesus.
With a butcher knife.
Yes.
You mean the big.
Not the
like,
no, a
square
steak
one?
knife, steak, like a
steak
giant
knife.
steak knife.
Okay.
Or
I
no,
was
a
gonna say-
was it a carving knife?
All three are not good.
It was
Well,
something.
no, a
knife?
butcher knife. Oh, how are you gonna get that in there? That's that big square one with the hole in, right?
No, that's a cleaver.
Yeah.
Oh.
Butcher knife is like a Michael Myers.
Yeah, cleaver's more to cut, like
Now-
chop it in half.
Everybody knows my kitchen skills real good.
um,
Which ain't very
no,
much.
what I'm saying is like when you get stabbed, if you get stabbed with like a smooth surface, like a Michael Myers knife,
Okay, it's Yoshiro Akiyama, not
Akiyama,
Takayama.
Akiyama.
Close.
the cut goes in and obviously comes back out, and it's because the knife is smoother. It's a lot easier for the doctors to go in and fix things. If you
Yeah.
get hit with a serrated,
Yeah.
dude, that
Yeah.
like
Yeah, it rips you apart.
it.
They're designed
real,
to destroy.
like,
Yeah.
Dude, this dude, he showed me a scar, and I was like, God, like, he's like, I shouldn't be here. Like, I was like, you're goddamn right, you shouldn't
Yep.
be. Like, you were fucked up. Like, that serratedness of a knife will do work. Like, that's why I said I
That
never
does
ever
worse,
want to get
yes.
stabbed.
That's why they say
Me
like,
neither.
you stick it in, then you twist,
Shoot
to fuck
me.
the person up.
Yeah.
Shoot me first.
Tornado Tag Podcast. We'll
Yeah.
teach you how to stab people.
Yeah,
And condone it.
Yes. Tony will teach you how to stab people.
I won't
They will
teach you how to
condone it.
stab. I'm just saying, if you're going to stab, if you're like, hey, I hate this guy in the podcast, please give me the bullet first. Like,
Austin,
don't.
maybe we can grade
I
their stabbing.
didn't kill
Give him
Nicole.
5 stars.
Okay,
Yeah, we'll give him a
okay.
star rating.
I didn't kill Nicole, but if I did, here's how I do it.
Oh, depending on how many inches the knife is, it's also not a
That's-
felony. Stab
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
That's your mom.
Yeah. Wow. I'm learning some things today.
So Tanahashi comes back. And
You're learning the biggest thing you should learn. Don't cheat on your girlfriend. Just
Yeah.
tell them be done and then
Or
move
don't
on.
tell her. You're cheating.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be
Or
honest
don't
about
be
it.
honest
Yeah,
about
Yeah,
it.
there you
Don't
go.
tell
We're
her.
also
Why?
condoning that.
Don't
Or
tell a
why?
woman the truth.
Oh, you know what? Say I want an open relationship from the beginning, and then you might get it, and then everyone's happy.
9 out of
True.
10, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
Go on.
No, that is open communication though. But
Yeah.
And it's called honesty.
Yeah.
So Tanahashi comes
And
back.
don't
from,
do that because you'll get stabbed.
Yeah, he comes back from the stabbing 4 months later.
He could have been 9-time champion if this lady.
he probably would have won the WWF title because it would have saw how big of a star he was in Japan.
Yeah.
So he returns 4 months later and almost immediately gets a big push. He beats Shinya Makabe to win the IWGP Under 30 title, which was the thing they had back then.
Mhm.
And it was the Under 30 openweight title. So
Kind of like the
juniors
Young
had-
Lions Cup in Chikara.
Yeah.
That doesn't exist. No.
And a lot of soccer teams have like under 4, under 21.
Yeah, Stardom has a title like that.
Yeah. Hockey juniors, things like that. Yeah. And so he also won the IWGP tag team titles with Yutaka Yoshi. He won 2 and 3 in the G1 again, but this time he beats Osamu Nishimura and another legend, Hiroshi Tenzan.
Yeah, I think at this point the G1 don't have that many guys. I think
It's
there's
like
only
8 people.
Yeah, so it's like 8.
4 aside, yeah, or 12, and there's 6 and 6. And so he developed his talent in a tough time though. So he's coming up in a point where he is not really built for this era. This is the mid 2000s, and this is the era of Inokiism because MMA is huge in Japan, and Antonio Inoki loves MMA.
He's the owner of New Japan.
Yeah, he's the owner and founder of New Japan, and he's going to emphasize shooters. This is when like Bob Sapp is a champion, Yoshiro Takayama is a champion.
Is this where they would have like wrestling and then shoot fights as well?
Well, no, they'd all be wrestling, but they'd have
It was
shoot
like-
fighters wrestling.
like blood sport. But then a lot of times it's like, well, is it real? Is it fake? We don't know.
And then if they had a guy that was getting big, they would be like, he should do MMA,
And then
even
they'll
if he's not good
send
at
him to
it.
Pride where they would fix fights as well.
And they would still lose.
Where Suzuki had a couple fights actually.
Yeah, and they Yuji Nagata had a fight in Pride, and he got his ass handed to him. And he was one of their big stars at the time, and it kind of ruined him. But Inoki, one of those guys to do real fights. That's when Alberto Del Rio had a fight over there with
Yeah.
Pro Cup.
Wearing a mask.
And he got crushed.
Yes. Jushin Liger had an MMA
Yeah.
fight and got crushed.
Did he?
Nakamura had a few and he did okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went like 2 and 3, I think.
It's called Inokiism.
Mm-hmm.
This whole
Dude, Del Rio
Yeah.
Rio got crow copped,
I have
which
to
is like
look for that.
the worst. Like, dude, crow cop hitting you with a kick was just
he
bad.
built his legend killing pro wrestlers. With
Dude,
that kick.
He hit Bob Sapp with a kick, and Bob Sapp blocked it with his forearms and started crying. Like,
Bob Sapp had one of the greatest lines about fighting. He said the punches hurt a lot more once I had $2 million in the bank.
yeah, like this dude
And I'm
Crow Cop
done.
made Bob Sapp cry from kicks, and he hit him in the forearms with it.
And he went against Del Rio and killed Del Rio.
It's
I have to
scary.
watch that because I hate Del Rio. So
Del Rio's legs just go out, and then he came to America and fought this guy named Gonzaga, and he got crow copped. He got hit pretty
broke
much
his
with his own
ankle too,
kick.
yeah.
Yeah,
Messed up his ankle.
it destroyed his ankle and his knee because he
Yeah.
like when he got knocked out, his legs went limp and like his legs bent like Peter Griffin.
Yeah, it was ugly.
It's the best way to
visual.
describe it. It
Yep,
just
good
didn't
visual.
look. He didn't fall naturally.
So what happened was Inoki sold New Japan because they were just doing horrible business. Wrestling in general was dying in Japan.
It was transitioning more to MMA and not
MMA was
professional
huge.
wrestling.
Pride was huge. Hustle did okay. Hustle was like a very comedy oriented, like Pride but yeah, MMA was huge, and then kickboxing, K1 kickboxing was huge
that
too.
was real big. They didn't have a PlayStation 1 game.
So did Pride.
Pride game actually had a lot of the New Japan like wrestling in it, and then you would take the New Japan guys and put them in like an octagon.
There were a handful of them.
Yeah.
A handful. So yeah, New Japan itself isn't doing well. So Inoki sells the company to Ukes, or majority interest to Ukes, who was funny. They were making the WWF games at the time, or WWE games. At
So
the time.
what time was this then?
2005.
Yeah.
They sell to Ukes, but Inoki stays in charge until 2007. Then he's out, and once he's out, did they immediately make Geto the booker, or was it a little after that? I don't remember.
I think a little after that.
Yeah, they went through a few bookers, and evenally Geto was the booker.
In
that
case
kinda
anyone
did
doesn't know, Inoki was like the Hulk Hogan of Japan.
Yeah,
Inoki is
Beloved.
Inoki is the guy. If you watch not Beyond the Mat, Dark Side of the Ring, he's the one who set up the North Korea show.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
He's the one who fought wrestled Muhammad
Yes,
Ali.
yeah.
Mhm.
Like he was like a governor, politician.
Mhm.
yeah, very corrupt politician.
Yeah.
But beloved in Japan.
And yeah,
Even I know that. I don't.
he was kind
watch
of like the
Japan.
Hulk Hogan and the Vince McMahon of Japan.
Yeah.
which is a great combo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he had the scandals just like Hogan. So they I forget his name now, but he changed his name because he's Muslim. No, I forget his actual. He
He's
still goes by Antonio Inoki, but it's not his name anymore.
Really?
No, I didn't know
A
that.
Japanese
yeah,
Muslim.
'cause
Yeah.
when you turn Muslim, you have to pick a Muslim name. Then I believe, right, Brian?
It
Or
depends.
something with that.
You can. It depends on what kind of sect you're. Yeah, his legal name, I believe now, is Muhammad Hussein Inoki.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But he still goes by Antonio Inoki.
What is the
Not to be confused with Muhammad Hussein, who attacked The Undertaker and then disappeared.
Yeah.
what is the majority religion?
That was
in
Muhammad
Japan?
Hassan.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Probably Shinto.
Yeah,
Yeah, Shinto. Shinto's the
Buddhism a little
Buddhism,
bit.
yeah. Shinto is still I think the majority in Japan. A little bit of Buddhism too.
Yeah,
Not Christianity.
48%.
Yeah, no.
It's it's very close according to this this study here.
Some of the Shinto places like on top of mountains and
Oh,
some
so-
of the monuments are so gorgeous.
So according to this, it's some people may practice a few other things. So a lot of Japanese people will practice both Shinto and Buddhism.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it says, according to Wikipedia,
close.
so it's Wikipedia, so who knows? 69.7% of people in Japan, according to this study, said they
Nice.
practice Shinto. 66.6%,
Mhm.
nice for religion,
I love that more.
said they practice Buddhism. 1.5 Christianity, 5.8% other religions. Although another study in 2018 said 62% of Japanese people were irreligious.
That's what I was gonna say.
Just not religious.
Japan
because-
kind of is getting going to where there's like no religion.
Some people will, I guess, believe in Shinto, but don't consider it a religion. Some people don't consider Buddhism religion. Those sound
Right.
Buddhist, but I'm not religious.
They're more in my gimmick now. The spirituality types.
Or it's a philosophy. Like a lot of
Right.
some
It's
people with Buddhism, it's a philosophy.
and
not
so
a
is
religion.
Shintoism.
So they don't fully like buy into it. They accept both thought process behind
Yeah,
it.
it's like
They're not necessarily going to church. every Sunday.
right,
Like
right.
the-
But they do have their ceremonial, like they have tea ceremony. Like Shintoism has a lot of tea ceremony in it. It has a lot of different meditation, like stuff like that with it. Not to go
Interesting.
into
And like the main dude
honoring
was-
your ancestors is a big
jump-
thing.
jumped over to Muslim. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is on her.
I wonder how much Muhammad Ali had the effect on that.
Quite a bit, probably.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Inoki is by 2007. Inoki is out, and they're going back to the traditional Japanese pure wrestling style. And in around 2005, 2006, Tanahashi never really did the excursion where he traveled the world right after he was a young lion. He was doing that more in 2005. He had a run in CMLL. He had a few matches in TNA in
Mhm.
2006. First time I ever saw him was on TNA. It was Final Resolution. He wrestled AJ Styles.
Yeah, I have a DVD with him, TNA DVD.
I think he's wearing like all white or something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Him
Very
versus
good
AJ, you
match.
have that DVD.
I have one. Well, I have.
It's probably on
I
Impact
don't know
Plus.
if that. Yeah, it's
I'd
one
look.
match. I forget who
Yeah.
was wrestling. Probably might be that one.
Yeah, it's and then he did another match on Explosion around the time and beat Roderick Strong.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I keep interrupting because we are running a little long here. But what, like, if you had to describe his wrestling style, you would say he wrestled like Sean, or
A bit.
A high flying, mat based and high flying style. There you go.
Yeah.
And strong style.
have a
obviously.
heavy bumper, like he would take crazy bumps? Like,
Not so much.
Psychology firing up.
Yeah.
He's more-
Charismatic as
Yeah.
hell.
I'm trying to think of the best. Like,
how's his English? Is it just strictly Japanese?
I don't think I've ever heard him speak
It's
English
very little.
Mhm.
Very little.
because he was never really concerned about being a crossover star. He was a star in Japan,
Yeah. So,
and he was a star in the United States because they were like, oh yeah, that's the guy from Japan who's like the best wrestler in the world.
Interesting. Okay, I'm sorry.
So
I'll shut up for now.
no, you're good. You're good.
I'm learning.
So he beats Chono in the first round of the 2006 New Japan Cup, but he loses to Nagata in the semifinals. And this is still when Inoki's under control. So he's doing Inokiism. In 2006, they also want to do a brand that is more sports entertainment, and they call it WrestleLand. And he's part of that. Sounds like something NWA would do, right?
I know WrestleLand.
And he's also going to become the #1 challenger to the current IWGP champion, Brock Lesnar. So at this point, he was again the under 30 champion. He vacates that title. He's probably getting close to 30.
Yeah.
Because he was born in 1976, and he's going to focus on challenging Brock Lesnar for the IWGP title. But he was supposed to beat Brock, but Brock's like, I'm going to stop wrestling instead.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose this title.
So he's a Sean guy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's either that or
Oh,
join the
absolutely.
Vikings.
No, this is after that.
Yeah.
So there's a tournament when Brock leaves, and it's Tanahashi gets the first round bye, and he beats Yuji Nagata in the semifinals. He beats Giant Bernard in the finals. Do you know who Giant Bernard is?
Do not.
Do you know who the Hip Hop Hippo?
Yeah. There you go.
No.
Do you
Do
know,
you know
who
who Sweet Tea is?
No.
Lord Tensai?
That sounds more familiar.
Do you know who Prince Albert is?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say the other half of TNA.
Yes, I know Prince Albert.
Yeah, that's Giant Bernard.
What was is he Tensei when he had the Japanese face? Like
That's when he
Yes,
came back
yes,
from
yes.
Japan.
Yeah.
yeah, he had all that like written down his body.
Yeah,
He was
he's
a
like, wait a minute, that's a white guy and that's Albert.
yeah.
Yeah, he was a big star in New Japan, so they brought him back with that gimmick.
Yeah.
Prince Albert was dope. That's how I actually learned about what Prince Albert was because of that wrestling name.
He
Never cared.
he held the IWGP title for 270 days.
Also got in trouble at the Performance Center, right? Was that no? It was Bill DeMont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he
sorry.
took over for Bill DeMott when Bill
Yeah,
DeMott.
yeah,
had
yeah.
it.
Morris
You know, it was one of the guys who got Bill DeMott in trouble. Talked about it earlier. Luchasaurus.
Yeah.
When he was at the Performance Center.
Hmm.
Then he went on Big Brother. So he loses it to Nagata, wins it back, and then he lost a match that following January at Wrestle Kingdom 2 to the then IWGP champion Shinsuke Nakamura, who was his big rival. Because they came up together and it was like Nakamura got to the top a little faster, and Tanahashi was kind of chasing him.
Yeah. And that was Wrestle Kingdom 2. January 4th was always the big
Big
WrestleMania
show.
of the year. So then it just adopted Wrestle Kingdom name then.
When you exploded, they got the whole
Yeah.
Wrestle Kingdom thing. Later in 2007, he beats AJ Styles in Japan to get his win back. He also beat Bernard to win his second New Japan Cup. And he was a bad guy for a little bit. He went to New Japan. Their version of the G1 was called the Champions Carnival. And
All Japan.
All Japan. Sorry, All Japan. He was he was the villainous New Japan invader, and he kind of ran through everybody until he lost to Sawada in the
What
final.
made him a villain?
He was an outsider. He was.
It was Cody going to WWE.
Yeah.
Okay, so he just was.
It would be like if Goldberg in the middle of Monday Night War showed up on Raw and was like, "I'm taking over the WWF. I'm going to beat
Okay.
everybody." I'm going to.
So like when you say back, like he wasn't like because you said heel tactics in New Japan are a little different than
And All Japan was even more serious.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah,
just
but-
that he wasn't.
It was just like, oh, he's one of them.
Yeah.
He's not one of our
It's real
guys.
simple.
Be like Cena showing up in ECW.
Cena showing up in AEW and he beats everybody.
Yeah,
Except Kenny, and then Kenny beats him and then he goes away.
exactly what happened.
interesting.
And then, so at Wrestle Kingdom 3, the 50th IWGP champion is Hiroshi Tanahashi, and he beats his mentor, his trainer, the legend, Keiji Muto. And that is the moment where it's like, this is Tanahashi's company now. He is the ace. He is the guy. And he beats Nakamura after that. He beats Kurt Angle after that. This is when he starts developing the high fly flow, which is the frog splash. That's his finisher.
Yeah. And
They
he does
really...
the standing version where the guy's standing, and then he also does the regular where the guy's
So he hits them like with a crossbody almost.
No, that's what I'm saying. There's two. Yeah, there's the
Mhm.
cross body version, and then there's this the guy's laying down, and they also sometimes rolls them over and it does one to their back. So they'll do one to their back, then rolls them over, does one to their front. That's usually
Yeah.
like
And
a
his
desperation finish. He
his
does two of
frog
them.
splashes, they are extremely high. They look really good. That's all.
He
The one on
explodes.
Dynamite wasn't great.
Yeah.
No,
He
no,
explodes his
older
body
ones.
outwards.
Yes, he
Honestly, like
explodes.
Seth's is kind of similar in my opinion. The explosion.
Yes, he
outwards.
explodes. That's a good way to say it.
And he also, this is when he starts playing a lot of air guitar.
Yeah.
That was his big
This
thing.
is what you would love about Tanahashi. So when Tanahashi wins the world title, and when New Japan, when you win your match, if you win the belt or if you successfully
dance.
defend it, you get to do a promo, right? And you gotta send him home happy. Tanahashi does a promo, and he acts like he's gonna leave. Then the crowd boos, and he comes back in,
Oh, he does an encore.
and then he goes
Oh.
out, and they boo, and he comes back in, and then the young boy reaches in the ring and grabs an invisible case and brings the invisible case into the ring, and then he opens the invisible case.
Yes.
You found your guy in
Yeah.
Japan.
Yes.
Now this is after the match. This isn't during.
I
They-
fucking hate all of you.
they-
Like, how is this? How is this six? Like, I like
Because
it.
it's after
It's not during the match.
Yeah.
He doesn't
Yes.
hit the guy
he's
with the
not
invisible.
taking the invisible guitar and breaking it over
Yeah.
somebody's head and winning the match because of it.
but they give him
He
the
should.
invisible
It's
guitar.
just- yeah, it's not American characters
the best
being
part.
fully developed into characters.
Yeah.
It's a wrestler
It's
with
wrestling that makes sense.
Yeah. What you do after the match don't matter as long as you're not time traveling and stuff. Anyway, he puts the
It's not
guitar
Apollo
on
Crews.
and he tunes it, but you hear him tuning it. And then when he goes to play it, you hear it. And then he smashes it.
I don't know. What life
And you
is.
hear
yeah.
the smash
Yeah.
of it. And sometimes he leaves and they boo. And he comes back and they give him an air guitar.
I mean, listen, I'm all about this. I
Yeah.
love this, but like,
And then because if you haven't noticed, he has a very rocker gimmick.
yeah.
Mhm.
High fly flow, twist and
But
shout.
did Shinsuke kind of?
Shinsuke
take-
Nakamura was not Shinsuke Nakamura.
What I'm saying is, when Shinsuke came to America and he kind of did that rocker thing, was that more of less like almost?
He was doing more of a Michael Jackson thing, which was
Yeah, he always said his two favorite things were Michael Jackson, Freddie, Prince. Right? No, Queen.
but he wasn't.
Freddie
Pulling,
Mercury.
he wasn't pulling anything from Tana. Like,
No, we'll get to what Nakamura was doing
Yeah.
really, really quick.
At this point, that he's wrestler Nakamura / MMA Nakamura.
Yeah,
So he's
he's
not the
fighting.
Nakamura. we
he had
know.
like the black hair. It wasn't fully long.
Yeah, yeah.
He almost
It's
like,
like a weird bowl cut.
He had
yeah.
like the Stranger Things haircut. At this.
So Tanahashi is firmly like the ace of the company now, and ace is an idea in Japan where like this is the guy. This
Yeah,
is,
you're
like
the-
Roman Reigns right now would be clearly the ace of WWE.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's what I had asked. I actually had asked Andy earlier because I was thinking, I swear I heard them call Okada the ace a few times.
He kind of is the ace now, but Tanahashi's whole thing is he's the ace of aces. He is the biggest ace that ever aced.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
before.
kind of he took the. I mean, from what you guys are saying, he kind of took the mantle from Tanahashi then at one point.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
realistically, the ace of New Japan is Okada.
Yeah, but like he was called the ace, but then it became his nickname. Like, you know,
Mhm.
And also, it's like,
he'll be the ace until he's dead.
at this
And then
point in
he's still
time,
gonna be the ace.
the two main guys in your company here are Tanahashi and Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes.
Yeah, at this point, yes. But
And then,
even
and then
though
Okada would be Kenny Omega.
Okada's like a young boy.
Yeah, Okada's not.
I'm saying the next generation was like Okada
and
and
Naito.
Yeah,
Naito,
Yeah.
Naito Omega. Would you throw Omega?
not
in
yet.
there?
Not Kenny's not there yet.
Okay.
So what happens here is Tanahashi does lose to Manabu Nakanishi very briefly, wins
Yeah.
it back, and he's in the G1.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Um,
Backstage.
He's in the G1.
nah, he retired in like 2019. Nakanishi, not very good.
It was Kurosawa in WCW.
Yeah,
But Tanahashi's in the G1. Usually, the champion doesn't go in the G1, and if somebody beats him, they usually get a title match later. Nakamura wrestles him in the semifinals, knees Tanahashi in the head, legitimately breaks his orbital bone. Legitimately breaks it. Because Nakamura's whole gimmick here, this is when Chaos started. And Chaos was very serious when it started.
Didn't Nakamura break someone's orbital bone in NXT when he first got there too?
Man.
Austin Aries.
I don't.
Is that what it
know.
was?
That's
I-
fine.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Should have did the other one too.
And so Nakamura's whole thing here is he's very serious, and he's starting Chaos, which is going to bring back strong style wrestling, hard hitting strikes, dropping people on their head, serious hard hitting wrestling. That's what strong style.
Anti-sanctuary.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
Early '90s New Japan. Yeah,
Yeah.
they definitely kept
and
doing that
especially all
sanctuary.
Japan, especially
Yeah,
all Japan.
all Japan. Yeah.
A lot of suplexes dropping on the head,
Kobashi.
punches right to the face,
brain
knees right to the
busters.
face.
Yeah, the German suplexes when you land on your
Yeah.
neck, and the pile drivers, and then
Yes, anything that would be banned in
the
the
Tiger
sanctuary.
Driver
yes.
91 when you drop them right in their head. You know,
The one that Rick Rude did the Ultimate Warrior
Yeah.
in SummerSlam.
he deserved it.
The Ravishing Driver 89.
It's Pride Month. We can say whatever we want about. Don't worry. He's a scumbag.
So that even though it wasn't meant to happen, he really did break his orbital bone. It was on brand because he hit him really hard for real. So he does come back at Wrestle Kingdom 4. Nakamura winds up winning the title, and he's kind of at the top there. But they do an ace versus ace match. It's Tanahashi, the ace of New Japan, against Go Shiozaki, the ace of Noah,
Mhm.
and Tanahashi gets the win. Winds up feuding with Yano, and he beats Yano in a hair versus hair match. And he had a rivalry with Tajiri too, but then they wound up teaming.
Fucking love Tajiri. I've always liked.
Sure, is very good.
Always is a fan of Tajiri.
Go Shiozaki recently was a Noah champion.
Yeah. And then at Wrestle Kingdom 5, he does get the IWGP title back from Satoshi Kojima, who he had lost in the G1 the year before.
I love Koshi.
Kojima's
Awesome.
great.
Tajiri Poison Mist.
Yeah. This title reign that starts in 2010 is the record breaker for Tanahashi at the time.
What is the record like?
Okada 13
Oh,
defenses,
Yeah,
13.
Okada has it now.
and
Well,
he has the reign of 756 days or something.
yeah, 13 defenses and 12 wins.
What's the like Ric Flair 16-time champion?
Tanahashi 8 times.
Yeah.
8 times.
And now it's a new title, so it can never be broken
yeah,
because it's considered a new title. It's now the IWGP World title.
yeah. Not the heavyweight title.
Yes.
So
So
it's
The lineage is one.
it's
Yeah.
Cody's neck on a title.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
It's not.
It
It's
is.
not a nice looking bill.
it's
No.
it's the Divas title.
Yeah.
So at the time, it was a record. I think not a record for the longest reign. I think Hashimoto may have had the record for that, or somebody.
Yeah.
But it's the most defenses. It was 11 successful defenses, 12 in total, and then he lost on the 12th, and then the second longest title reign ever. 404 days, and this is when New Japan's starting to get a little bit of a groundswell. It's starting to get noticed. It's not as big as it is now, or even, and definitely not as big as it was like 3 or 4 years ago. And they do a tour of the U.S. around like the ECW arena. They run a few places. He actually defends against Charlie Haas in New York.
Yeah.
First time the IWGP title was ever defended in New York. And he ties Nagata's record for 10 defenses by beating Yuji Nagata himself.
Wow.
Very important to remember that.
Usually got a born on my birthday, April 24th.
He was in WCW NWO Revenge.
Yeah, he is.
And he then broke the record by beating Minoru Suzuki at Wrestle Kingdom 6. WrestleMania 4 would have been much better
Yeah.
with Minoru Suzuki.
Different time traveler.
Oh, time traveling Minoru Suzuki would be great.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that? Like one of the old Royal Rumbles with like
Suzuki comes
Ronnie Garvin
out.
and Suzuki comes out number 30 and just kills everybody. That would have been great. But after he beats Minoru, Wrestle Kingdom, and he's record breaking 11th title defense. There's a new challenger coming in. He's fresh off of excursion. He's fresh off a horrible run in TNA.
Don't watch it.
Where he was Okado. He was Samoa Joe's driver because Vince Russo saw his last
Kato.
name and he was Okado because his real last name is very close to Okado.
Yeah.
That would be the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada.
Kato Green Hornets driver.
Yeah, Green
Yeah.
Hornet.
Not be
right,
confused
yeah.
with Green Lantern. Green Hornet
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
awful.
That's why you said Kato. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, you
Yeah.
got to be kidding.
Mhm.
You're Asian. We'll make you the Green
This
Hornet.
This
Yep.
is why it took so long for New Japan to ever want to work with Impact again.
Yeah.
It took them, even the little bit they work with them now, it took so long.
Here's one of our golden boys. Oh boy.
This guy is going to be the future of our company. Bro,
Yeah.
his name sounds like the Green Hornets driver.
And they also really fucked up Sonata too.
Yeah.
Right around the same time.
That was a bit later.
Yeah,
But
a little bit late. Yeah. And somebody else too went there and it was not good.
Ooh.
So, Okada beats Yoshihashi at Wrestle Kingdom, and he's immediately, I'm calling out the champ. I want Tanahashi. And he beats him. A month in, he beats him. And it's fine because, like, this is different than the Adam Cole thing because he's the new golden boy. He is like the Japanese guy.
The guy that they're going to invest.
Yes, this
for
is
years
their
to come.
star for the next 12 years or more.
And probably the next 12 years.
Yeah.
From today.
He's going to be,
2022.
Okada's going to go down as the most, he still already is the most decorated wrestler in Japanese
probably-
history. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll probably be the best Japanese wrestler in Japan.
Ever.
Yeah. Ever.
Yeah. So he beats Tanahashi, which ends that historic reign, but Tanahashi wins the title back at Dominion a few months later. It'd be like losing at WrestleMania, winning it back at SummerSlam. And when he does that, he ties his hero Tatsumi Fujinami for a record 6 IWGP title reigns. And at this time is also around the time that Bushiroad, the current owners of New Japan, buy it. In 2013, he beats Okada again at Wrestle Kingdom 7. And they have a special. Andy talked about it last week. They do a match once a year where it's a junior champion against the IWGP
So
champion.
this one I started really watching.
And this is Tanahashi against Prince Devitt, and Tanahashi wins again. But
So are they just flopping the title between two guys the whole time?
no,
Well, not really
Three.
flop. Yeah, there's like for a couple years, yeah, there were only 3 champions, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe 4 from 2013 to
Yeah,
2000.
I mean, look at WWE with
Yeah,
Reigns and
yeah.
Brock,
I was just gonna say.
yeah.
or John Cena and Randy Orton.
yeah.
I mean, there were guys that got close, got title shots and stuff, but like
Yeah, for a while it was either going to be Tanahashi, Okada, or AJ Styles.
Yeah.
For a while. Until I think,
Kenny comes.
until Naito.
Yeah, Naito, yeah.
So at that point, Okada gets the title back at Invasion Attack, so he's a 2-time champion now. And Tanahashi loses a number 1 contenders match to Devitt because of the new Bullet Club interference. We talked about that match last week. But he gets a rematch against Okada at King of Pro Wrestling, and he vows if he loses this match, as long as Okada has that title, he will not challenge for it again. And he loses.
Yeah.
And the ace loses. And now he can't win the IWGP title. He's done. He can't do it until Okada loses it. But he gets a chance against the Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. And this is where you have a fan vote. Because you have the Intercontinental title match with your 2 biggest stars for the last 6 years, Okada or Nakamura and Tanahashi, or the new guys, Okada and Naito, the new generation. But they have the big title, they have the bigger title, the IWGP title. It'd be like somehow Roman and Brock were wrestling for the Intercontinental title, and it was like Austin Theory and somebody else for the Braun Breaker for the WWE title, and they vote Brock and Roman as the main event.
Yeah.
And Okada, it eats away at him, and it eats away at Naito, and it festers in them because they didn't get the main event. But Tanahashi wins the title, drops it back to Nakamura soon after, but not that long after that, AJ Styles beats Okada for the IWGP title. So now
He can compete again.
Yep, and he beats AJ Styles.
Mhm.
And then the next year, Wrestle Kingdom is going to be, and that's his 7th title, new record. And at Wrestle Kingdom 9, they're back at it again, Tanahashi and Okada, and Tanahashi wins. Because the story now is Okada can beat Tanahashi, but he can never beat him at the Tokyo Dome. They've wrestled 2 times now at the Tokyo Dome, and Tanahashi has won both of them. And there's your story. But right after he beats Okada at the Tokyo Dome, he loses his title back to AJ Styles, and AJ Styles loses it back to Okada. and then Tanahashi wins the G1.
All these matches are very, very.
These are
good.
and these are all
Yeah.
incredible matches too. It's not just a good storyline. They're
Well, if any of you's ever resubscribed,
Yeah, I
They're-
think I might before the G1.
Yeah.
send me a login so I can check some
These-
stuff out.
these are some of the best matches you've ever seen. So Tanahashi wins a G1, which now is an automatic title shot at Wrestle Kingdom. So Wrestle Kingdom 10 is Tanahashi and Okada. They've wrestled 6 times now for the IWGP title, and each guy has won 3.
But in America, if Roman and Brock wrestle, they're like,
This is bullshit.
But they
Well,
never had
you're looking more at like The Rock and Austin.
Mhm.
So they did what, 3 WrestleManias?
Yeah.
Maybe
Brock,
that's not.
Brock and Roman put a show on though. They're fine.
But there's no thread. There's no common thread through all
Yeah.
the matches.
Yeah, just
Right.
spam finishers.
Because the
No,
idea
that's when Goldberg's involved.
what could have happened
Brock
is
and Roman.
what could have
and
happened in
Roman.
this last one is, and I would have been fine with this last one, Brock and Roman, because Roman would never leave with the title. And finally he did. You can say, okay, it's over now. They didn't. It's back. It's
Yeah.
back. It's back
I think
4
it's-
months later.
I think it's back because of injury and stuff.
This is
now.
also over
Panic,
The,
yeah.
this
Yeah.
is also over the span of years and years.
Yeah.
This is over the span of years. Not every year it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So they do it, and
Because AJ had the belt for
Yeah.
8-9 months, something like
Yeah.
that, 10 months.
This
Yeah,
is-
I mean we're
yeah.
we're breaking it down.
Yeah,
It sounds like it
yeah.
happened in,
Yeah.
in a week span.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking
Right.
from 2012 to like 2016.
Yeah.
Right.
So finally, this is like game 7. It's 3-3, but Okada's never won at Tanahashi's home court.
It's like Jordan beating Boston in Detroit. Or I mean beating Detroit.
It would be like,
yeah.
and you can't do this because there was such a different. Imagine LeBron comes up at the end of Jordan. Imagine LeBron becomes a rookie. He enters the league in like 1995, and maybe he wins the title while Jordan's playing baseball, and he's a hot rookie, but he's never beaten Jordan, and he beats Jordan. That's what it was because Okada plans.
Well, I'm saying Jordan is Okada is Jordan in this situation where he always getting his ass kicked by Detroit.
Yeah,
Really changes his game, changes who he is, and then takes over the NBA after he beats.
pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is pretty much what happened.
Yeah,
Because he beats Tanahashi at the Tokyo Dome, and Okada. I mean, they still call Tanahashi the ace, but this is Okada saying, "Nope, this is my company now.
yeah.
This is my play. I am New Japan now," and he has been ever since. Even if he's not the champion, Okada is the centerpiece. And
Now
that's
the
what it is.
Tokyo Dome, is that just like a giant baseball field?
Yeah, it's where the I believe the Yomiuri Giants play there.
Okay.
It's the big stadium in Japan.
Yeah, it does have a dome, but I think it can
It
open.
opens up.
Yeah.
And so Tanahashi kind of drops down to the Intercontinental title now because now Okada, after that win, or no, yeah, Okada's already a champion, so he loses his challenge to Okada because this is Okada's reign that breaks all of Tanahashi's records. And he'll only ever wrestle Tanahashi for the title one more time, and it's very significant because Tanahashi winds up wrestling Naito for the Intercontinental title. This is when Naito, because of that disrespect, because he got passed over by Nakamura, who is gone now or is about to be gone, because he got passed over by Nakamura and Tanahashi, he doesn't care about anything. He's Los Ingobernables. He throws the belt around. He doesn't care.
It's
He's-
slowly breaking
yeah.
apart, and it's getting. It was a white
Yeah.
title, so it's getting dirty.
Yeah, he
And
damages
throws
the
out
belt.
the steps,
Yeah.
and he steps on it.
Yeah.
and spits on it, and drags it to the ring.
And so Tanahashi and Naito go into a feud. And they trade the belt back and forth a few times. And at one point, Naito's a champion going into Dominion. And he puts it up and says, I hate this belt. I'll wrestle Tanahashi, but if I win, I don't keep the belt. The belt is gone. I want this belt gone. I want it retired. And Tanahashi has to fight to save the belt. And he wins and keeps the belt
And,
going.
and then he gets a brand new title.
Yeah.
The same looks the same, but it's all clean.
But
and
then he
shiny.
also gets he doesn't like that. He brings back the old title. He tries to fix it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Taping it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hardcore written on the tape.
Oh, God. Strong styles written on it.
But along the way, Okada has tied Tanahashi's, or is about to tie Tanahashi's record for the most title defenses. But for that title defense that will break the record, he's got to wrestle Tanahashi, and he beats him again. And then Tanahashi he goes into like almost a secondary role for a second. Jay White is coming in, and Jay White winds
When's
up.
the last time they've crossed paths?
That was the last time, unless they wrestled in the
What
they
year
probably
is
wrestled in the G1
Yeah.
somewhere.
So,
2018.
yeah. Well, Lucha, absolute on fire year for New Japan. You watching anything from 2017, 2018? All the shows are great,
Mhm.
except the side shows. I mean, they're still good, but like the main shows are awesome.
Oh, they're incredible. So then it's kind of similar to the Okada thing. Another young guy is coming up, Switchblade Jay White. And he challenges Tanahashi for the Intercontinental title at Wrestle Kingdom. And that's the third match on the show.
That's his debut at Wrestle Kingdom after
Yeah.
Tanahashi wins.
because he came back as a young boy from
he
being a young
wasn't.
boy.
He was in ROH for a while.
Yeah,
Right?
that
He
was his
wasn't Switchblade?
excursion. Yeah.
How long was he gone for?
Like a year and a
Yeah.
half. Like he was there showing you there as the Tempura Boys. But he comes back and he beats Jay White. He beats Jay White and retains the Intercontinental title, but loses it shortly after to Minoru Suzuki. Okada winds up shortly after winning that record-breaking match against Tanahashi, loses the title finally to Kenny Omega, who had just come off of beating Chris Jericho at that Wrestle Kingdom. And then Tanahashi wins the G1 again. So now your main event in 2019's Wrestle Kingdom is Kenny Omega defending the IWGP title against Tanahashi. It's this guy who represents all the outside influence, all of the change that is threatening New Japan.
What did they call him? The Gaiju, the Kaiju or something,
Well,
right?
Gaijin. That is
Gaijin is
that just
any-
means non-Japanese
Yes.
wrestler.
Yeah.
That's
Kaiju
not-
is a giant monster.
Yeah.
Tears
Yeah.
up.
It's like the Western
Yeah.
hemisphere influence coming in.
Yeah, it's basically a foreigner.
Mhm.
It's a non-Japanese wrestler.
But 2019, Tony Khan is around.
Yeah.
Tony Khan wants to make his own wrestling federation.
Mhm. And Kenny, this is the time Kenny and the Bucks are very disillusioned with New Japan. That's when that Harold Mage guy is
Oh
there.
yeah, he was not very good.
So they were probably leaving anyway without AEW. Like
Yeah.
Kenny was, if AEW doesn't come around, Kenny probably goes to WWE.
Yeah.
And so the main event is set for Wrestle Kingdom, Tanahashi and Omega. And Tanahashi does it again, 8-time IWGP champion. Not a long reign, though. He loses
No.
it right away to Jay White.
Mhm.
And that's Jay White's first win. And then Jay White loses it to Okada in
At the
the
Garden.
Garden.
I was there.
And then the next year, he gets his match against Chris Jericho. And that was Chris Jericho's last match in Japan. And Jericho beats him at the Dome. And then the pandemic happens shortly thereafter. New Japan's in a holding pattern. He does have a tag team with Kota Ibushi, Golden Ace.
Yep.
That was pretty successful.
Won the tag titles.
He wound up feuding with Kenta for a while. He won the IWGP US title a few times. He had it up until May. He lost it in Washington, D.C. to Juice Robinson in May. And then Juice lost it to Ospreay, and now he won't get the title back. And now we've reached present day.
Yep.
But yeah, hell of a story. A guy who New Japan probably doesn't get as big as it did without Tanahashi getting them through the dark ages. And Nakamura, but Tanahashi was the ace.
Yeah. Very, very popular.
It just,
New
I'm
Japan.
not trying to rehash an old conversation, but it seems like your title is being bounced around between two guys, and every now and then an outsider comes in and he mixes it up. And then right before the pandemic, you're at the point where now it's like most of your companies being like influenced by outside information, gaijus, and it's your title switches are happening
You're looking
in
at
America.
this from a very American view.
Sure, but I mean the huge
The title change hands in the United States once, and a Japanese guy won it.
Yes, but I'm saying is they're bringing in that American audience. Like before pandemic, it seemed like they were very geared into let's tap into this resource and help us out.
Kenny and AJ got big pushes.
Yeah.
But it was always centered around other guys.
I mean, what about their tag division with the Bucks?
The Bucks. It was a junior tag.
And
Yeah, they won the- they
The,
moved
Carl,
up
the
to
tag
Carl
division
and
is, the
Doc.
tag division is very much an afterthought in New Japan.
Yeah.
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 Carl and Doc were, because we talked about the last episode, the Bullet Club. Like Carl and Doc are your main tags, and the Bucks are your
Kenny was a special case when he was there before he lived in Japan.
yeah.
Could speak
He
fluent
could
Japanese.
speak Japanese.
Mhm.
He was a very special case. AJ was a transitional champion.
It's just interesting. This Forbidden Doors is going to be very interesting to see how it progresses both companies, because it is, like I said, I think a lot of people that are watching AEW that are New Japan fans are probably New Japan fans because of the American influence, and then they're like, oh, we love, like, you guys have been watching.
AEW though. AEW doesn't exist without New Japan.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. And I
Because-
think this is going to bring Japan audiences to more outsider influence.
And
So then
it's in a very linear way too, because as much as All In was the proof of concept, before that, Tony Khan saw New Japan coming over and drawing 10,000 people in Long Beach for Kenny against Cody. They're like, he's like, this is viable. This
this is huge that they're talking about this, and this Forbidden Door show is because if you're, and we're not saying this to run WWE out. WWE has a place in wrestling forever. It is what it is. It's the thing. But if you're going to compete with the giant that is WWE wrestling, you need a global brand.
Yep.
And when now you're bringing New Japan in, who has guys from England and London, and AEW sees that value in Mexico, Japan, Canada, like all over the world, like, and now you're merging the biggest Japanese company, the biggest, even though Japan and AAA don't really see eye to eye, but like
Yeah.
they're all this melting
That's
pot.
more of a CML thing. That's a Mexican politics.
Yeah, but you have this giant melting pot that is AEW that is going to help get eyes internationally all
It
over.
was
the
never
place.
this big, but that's what WCW did. They would have Muda in all the time. They would have
all the
Chono.
cruiserweights. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is this going to be more of a standalone event, or is this going to have actual repercussions on wrestling history?
I think this is gonna,
standalone.
Yeah, I'm gonna say standalone. Just to come like, what was the WCW pay per view?
The Japan Super Show, but they would just tape the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah, that.
but you
that-
don't think this opens the door for more people to show up weekly and,
No,
and have matches
I don't
here
think
and
you
there?
should do that because then you're
It'll
getting.
become not special very quick.
Yeah,
So
and
like, if a guy is fizzling out in Japan, you throw him in AEW for a little bit, or
you
same
could do
thing.
low. You could do low.
Yeah, you could do stuff like
I
that.
just think that the way that they built up to the pay-per-view and the way that they presented the New Japan talent on AEW, I don't think it allows them to really build any other story off of it other than a standalone.
Yeah, the buildup
event.
has been super rushed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been,
here
it's
are the-
been rushed and obviously major injuries. Like it hurt. It hurt the build.
No, but also time wise, I feel like they knew that they were going to do this event for a while.
Sure.
Like you were saying earlier. So how do you not make this a bigger deal if
Because you
it's going
booked
to
a
be a
pay-per-view
bigger?
4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
3 weeks ago.
Also, how many times have guys are working injured and like shit? Like I don't know if I can. Like I'll try, but I don't like. You know what I mean? Like we
It's
don't.
not the old school mentality of push through anymore.
Well, no,
It's-
that's negligence.
Yeah, it's negative.
Sometimes they
well,
just
well,
It's-
Tanahashi pushed through quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Half of that stuff we talked about after Okada beat him with the dome, he was injured. He was.
I mean, look at Taker.
falling apart.
Taker.
Bad knees,
Taker
bad arm.
held the Attitude Era down, fucking destroyed,
Mhm.
and he wouldn't walk away because they're in the midst of a war. You know what I mean? Like he like that's part of the deal now. But AEW is at a point where I mean, I'm not saying that this is what's going down, but it's just like, hey, Punk, you're hurt. Go get taken care of.
No, Punk literally can't wrestle with
Yeah,
that injury.
Brian,
He
you're
just had
hurt.
surgery.
Go take care. Kenny, you're hurt. Like we have guys that we can bring in and put in places and work.
Like the guy who
storylines.
won their first match,
I mean,
Kip Sabian, who hasn't been on TV.
Oh, he's been on TV.
Oh yeah, with the box on his head.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
right.
but
But he
I'm
doesn't
saying
wrestle.
is we have the Miros of the world. We have names on the company that like,
Yeah.
go
Mm.
take a break.
If
Don't-
anything, I wish there were fewer people on this show. It'd be
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
I think for this first one, I think it'll be fine. I think it'd be, like I said, it's definitely booked like an indie show, which I'm cool with because I enjoy when.
I don't think it's going to be standalone. I see them doing maybe 2 a year like this.
Well, no, I
do
could see
two a
them
year,
doing
yeah.
multiple
Yeah.
events like this, but I don't think this event is going to cause booking changes.
I don't
for
think there's
either
going to be any.
company.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a big thing where like all of a sudden this changes the trajectory of AW's feuds. Or
Mhm.
anything like
Yeah,
It's just
But
like
if you
once a
think
year they
about-
come together and they have
Yeah.
interpromotional matches.
Because
Yeah.
if you think
It's-
about it, they really have some dead zone in between their pay-per-views. I mean, you have
Yeah.
Full Gear and then what, February's Revolution?
Yeah, they only do
So
4
you
years.
could
The
do
only
one around
thing is-
Christmas there.
Is you need. I don't know. I'm not saying it's this card, but at some point in time in the future, you do need to have a shakeup where a major title or something implication wise has to change hands. Because if you come into every pay-per-view and it's like, well, this title's on the line, you're like, oh, well,
you know it's not. gonna
FTR's
change.
winning this,
Yeah.
or they're winning this.
That's why I think it's plausible Okada wins the title.
Mhm.
That's a title change. Like when they did the ROH New Japan show at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be, if he wouldn't have left, it was supposed to be Okada Omega 4.
Yeah.
And Okada was probably going to beat Kenny and win the title back. But then Kenny left. So it became Tanahashi, who flipped it to White, who lost it to Okada.
But all right, well that'll do it. We went really long. We apologize. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. We had a lot. We had a lot of you watching this time.
But a lot of people enjoy a long podcast. I mean, between the sheets, that's like 5 or 6 hours.
Oh
That's
my
too long.
God,
That's too long
long.
for me, but I mean,
Yeah.
but just people enjoy that.
Dude, I've learned a lot. This is fun. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. If it's your first time listening, let us know in the comments if you enjoyed the show or not. If you're listening audio back later, a review goes a long way. It helps us get more exposure. For a while there, we were getting on the audio side of things on Apple. We were ranked pretty well on the top 250 in North America, which is really, really exciting because anything around the 250 100 mark is all people who are in the business who have podcasts, and to be ranked in that era with them is pretty fucking sick.
Yeah.
So if you have made it this far, please take an opportunity to leave a review, whether it be on Facebook or whatever podcast app you listen on. Share this out. We are trying to grow the YouTube brand as well. But thank you guys so much for listening. We're gonna get through our plugs here. If you want to leave a quick review, let us know what you thought of the show. And as we're getting the intro out, we'll put it up during the outro music so we can kind of post up those reviews. We really hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, if you're new transition people from TikTok, welcome. There's we're here every Thursday. Come join us, and we're always looking for guests. We are kind of booked up for the rest of the for this month and next month when it comes to topic wise and who we have on and what we don't have on, because we have a lot of stuff that we're building up to that we want to promote, like Legends of Hamburg and stuff like that. After July, we will be having guest spots. We will be doing interviews again, interviewing podcasters, people in the business. I may be doing an interview this weekend. That'll be kind of like a one-on-one thing because we're driving to a show.
We will give Legends of Hamburg a better build than Forbidden Door had.
Yeah, oh yeah, Legend of Hamburg is like a month-long build because we have a lot of cool things that we want to build up.
Which
There's
is
so many
1
cool
week
names.
longer than Forbidden Door.
Yeah, because we have a lot. There's a lot of cool things that are happening, and if you're PA and you're local, please go buy a ticket to that show, as well as PPW and all these amazing shows that these promotions.
Yeah,
help
we
us
can talk
out
about
with.
who's going to be there. Lindsay Dorado and Jackie Gata will be there.
No, wow.
Charlie Haas's
That's Jackie Gata.
Jackie Gassari. She goes by Haas still, right? Or is that just the?
She may.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know her gimmick name is Jackie.
Brian Kendrick will be back at PPW.
Hmm?
It was a stabbing debate. It ran too long. LOL.
I don't think it was the stabbing debate that ran too long. I think it was the Adam Cole debate that ran a little too long.
The great show, guys. Learned a lot. Thank you. Andy, what do you got to plug?
Okay, I'm talking this show because we didn't even talk about it. And Bro Keller's on it, and J.S. Hawthorne.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm
the
so
PA
depressed.
Central Slam Fest at the Rusty Rail Brewing Company is this Saturday, June 25th, and I believe the time is 4:00. That I can't find. The
If
flyer
anyone's
here.
going to be at this show and going to be at Sanctuary the next day, if you can get me a 4-pack of that Champions Pills, I would be very, very
So,
grateful.
It is at 4 p.m. The Mifflinburg Hose Company, and it is also the Rusty Rail Brewing Company. There'll be beer and rest.
Are you just plugging that? Or are you on the show?
I am not on the
Oh.
show. No.
I'm very, very excited that I'm helping starting. Like, I'm going to be on the call for a brand new company in Jersey, but I'm really bummed I'm not going to be.
And
in
apparently,
this.
there's a band called Midnight Jam Sound System who will be rocking the
Oh,
place.
Yeah.
So, and J.S. Hawthorne will be wrestling Vinny Lee Glamrock. I'm not
Yeah.
familiar
All right.
with Vinny Lee. Oh my God, I just hit the commercial there. So yeah, June 25th. That's the Saturday, Mifflinburg,
South
PA.
Philly's Finest is going to be there too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome, dude. Rusty Rail is
PASlamfest.com if you want to check it out. It should be a fun show. I'm
Yeah.
not there. I have no shows to plug, so that's why I was like,
Rusty
fine to plug
Rail is a fantastic place. I also do a beer podcast, and they welcomed us there for their millionth can of their one beer. And the fact that they reached out and asked us was awesome. And we met Guy and a bunch of other people who worked there, and they were so receptive and welcoming.
Was it Guy or Geek?
Guy, yeah. And then once he found out I was also a pro
Guy from
wrestling
Final
fan,
Fight.
he was like, "Dude, you need to be a part of this event." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm in." And then when he sent me the date, I was like, "I'm booked." And I'm heartbroken. But I want people to go there and support it and make it a big thing so I can go to the next one next year.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had one last year, I believe.
Yeah, it's 2 years in a row. And like I said, it's a really good brewery. The food, even if you don't like drinking beer, the food there is fantastic. It's it's in a beautiful location. It's
And if you don't like food, go watch the wrestling.
yeah, it's going to be great.
What if you like food, beer, and wrestling?
Yeah.
Oh,
you're
my
gonna-
God.
You
then-
hit the jackpot.
Ding,
You are
ding,
going to
ding.
have a blast. Austin, what do you got?
The Sanctuary. I believe there is a show this weekend,
This
this Sunday. I'll be there. I don't know in what capacity, but I know I'll be there. I know there's training before. So that I've been now training for 6 weeks or 6
right.
sessions. Lot that I have learned, both physically with my body and what I can and can't do, but also just, I don't know. It's very exciting, and I look forward to not just here, but explaining and showing everyone a little bit more about that journey, because it really is like living a dream. It's such a fun time, and I've enjoyed every second of it.
There you
So,
go. That's great.
yeah.
Sanctuary is a fun place, man.
Mhm.
I'm excited. It's going to be the first time of us being in the Sanctuary at the same time.
Sounds like trouble.
It's gonna be fun. I'll be upstairs most of the time, but we can say if you go to the sanctuary.com or Sanctuary on YouTube,
Mhm.
it will be. They don't do live on Facebook anymore, just live on YouTube.
Okay.
So head over to the Sanctuary on YouTube and you tune in this Sunday. Pre.
7?
I think
I believe 7 is it's 7 Sanctuary time. So
yes,
Okay.
7 Sanctuary time.
So to check your Facebook at 7, maybe come back at
Turn the
7:30.
alerts on.
Maybe come back at 8.
Yeah.
If it's not on, that is.
Yeah, and you will be
Or the
hearing
YouTube.
myself and Brian on the call.
yes.
We'll be calling
Yes.
action. So it's
Yeah,
exciting.
I'm gonna wrestle. Don't
Yeah.
know who. There's no matches announced. So I don't know if anyone knows.
Yeah, it'll be fun. Brian, what do you got?
It reminds me of those, what do they call it? Mystery Vortex?
Yeah.
The PWG shows. Just show up to get a good show. Always a fun time at the Sanctuary. I've got what I've always got. This is a Murder My Dude week. It's a bi-weekly show. This is an on week. It'll be coming out in about 2 hours at midnight, a little over 2 hours from now. Not one, if you don't like the really grisly ones, you might want to skip over this one because it's bad.
The most grisly one was your Japanese one.
This isn't that bad.
Ooh,
Oh, that was bad.
that was a rough
Yeah. This one is also pretty rough. The
Steak knife or
no, this is more strangulation. The tourniquet killer.
one. Dude, concrete, my dude. Is,
Yeah, if you want a bad one, concrete, my dude. Wow, that was the most gruesome thing we
Is
ever
this the
covered.
Japanese one?
That was
Yes.
the Japanese.
I might have to put that on for my mom. My mom start
Oh,
liking it now.
don't.
Oh,
No,
she's rough. Jeez.
This one, if you are particularly squeamish about crimes against children, probably bad.
Dude, the Japanese one, I'm pretty desensitized of everything in
Yeah.
the world, and that was like Jesus Christmas.
But yeah, it's the tourniquet killer. We also do This Week in Murder. You'll find a really good place to hide a body. You also find out about somebody who probably got caught in a very stupid way. Who died the worst? The usual projecthumanoid.com. We're really trying to plug our social media too. So at Murder My Dude on Truth Social, that's our big social media presence. Our goal is to get 3 followers on there.
Truth?
We're at
What?
2.
What the hell is Truth Social?
Yeah.
It's a right-wing conservative.
It's Donald Trump.
It's Donald Trump.
Oh, like
social network.
Parler or whatever. That
Yeah,
is?
Like,
it's a
is
new
this-
one. It's
is this a
Truth
new-
Social.
Is this a new Facebook or something?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
Truth Social.
yeah.
No, it's a new Twitter.
They don't fact check you there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can say what you want, even if it's fake
I've
stuff.
never heard of it.
that
Uh,
honestly sounds like
You know, you should add EC3 in Bronzeville.
Yeah.
Well, we have 2 followers. Our goal is 3. And so we really want that 3rd follower on Truth Social. They have red checks instead of blue checks. And I said, it should be a little red hat. Just
Yeah.
leave a check.
Tiny hats.
Oh, God.
So yeah, project209.com. You can just look up Murder My Dude. Wherever you find podcasts, you'll find us.
Also on
Um,
Tout. The WWE social media.
Do you-
Tout.
I missed Town. Yeah. Do you want me to plug the show you're going to be on Saturday?
Sure. You can
So
plug
it's
that.
it's a little farther away if you're a local listener. But Tony was talking about Shore Star Wrestling, which will be live at the No Limits Boxing Academy this Saturday at 7 p.m. in Rio Grande, New Jersey, right outside of Wildwood. Spent many a week in the summer there.
4-hour drive.
It's a little more. It's like 3.5. Actually, I know where you're going from. Yeah, it's 4.
Yeah.
The HC Loke. Speaking of Sanctuary regulars, HC Loke will be there up
Philly
against Vincenzo. Philly Mike will be there in action.
Chris Slade was posted with that he's no longer on the card.
Philly Mike.
Lee Sparrow.
Philly Mike against Everest. We have Valerie Verman.
Valerie Verman will be
known
there.
locally against Damaris Dawkins, who we know.
We know Damaris. Yep.
Leo Sparrow being a 4-way for the SSW. Oh, gimmick infringement. The SSW No Limits title.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Mm.
Get the lawyers.
And Valerie Verman will also be in the corner of Sam Thompson. Here's a good match. Show stealer right here. Sam Thompson with Valerie Verman in his corner against Matt Quay.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that should be good.
Yeah,
Where's Matt? Maybe we'll ride on Matt Quay. Get all of us in the same car. That's a fucking drop.
that's wrestling. Get a carload.
Yeah. I love Matt Quay, man. He's a good dude. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I'm very excited. If you cannot make the show, it will be on IWTV.
Yeah.
Once it's edited and everything like
Mhm.
that. So
It is,
definitely, it won't be live on IWTV, but you can check it out later on. We
Right, like
we
a
will
week or two,
promote it
yeah.
when it is. I would promote the show more, but I don't think many of our listeners like.
Yeah, it's a little
We
far
are
away.
starting to now branch out and have people who listen that aren't just local to
Yeah.
us and that we met at shows. Like we're meeting people now on other platforms and social
Mhm.
medias. Like, oh, I listen to your podcast and I don't actually ever really know who you are. So that's kind of cool. And hopefully we get to the point where we can get more range that we say, hey, we're going to be at a show, and that could be a meeting place to meet people.
It is SSW Monsoon. So I'm hoping what they
Ooh.
do is they do the national anthem for the American flag and then the Manchurian flag.
There
Yeah.
you go, yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Will you
and
stop?
I get-
That's the next show.
And I get to be on the call with.
SSW, I'm going to have you thrown out of here.
Yeah.
I'll be on the call with Pete.
There you
Pete
go,
DeLong,
yeah.
which is exciting to
The
me.
great
'cause
Pete DeLong.
He is the goat to me. I work with a lot of really, really good commentary people, but Pete is.
Do they have what the main event is? Or?
I believe it may
The
be
HC
Loke
Loke.
and Vinny Chen.
Oh, okay.
Kelly.
My wrestling plug is going to be on Scribd now. The Mox book is now out on audiobook and he is narrating it. I am halfway through and it is fantastic with him narrating it. to hear his.
I did a coke in a library.
Oh, he talks about doing lines and doing ecstasy.
Yeah,
and...
I read that book. I didn't wait for the audiobook. I actually read it when it came out, and yeah, you can see why he went to rehab.
Yeah.
You can really see why he went to rehab in that book.
If you pay the what is it, $12 a month? I think we pay
$8.99, I believe, is script. Maybe it went up.
I think I pay 12.
You may have super script.
That's Script Pro.
I better look at that.
That's saying get the saucy books.
Well then,
Oh,
I don't read any of those.
Pay more for words.
It's $11.99. I think when I signed up it was $8.99. I guess the price went up.
geez.
Yeah.
That's how they get you these streaming.
Yeah, but this is a really good one if you like books and if you like audiobooks like I do. Sometimes I just don't have the time to sit and read it. But him explaining his experience in the bear suit in Philadelphia,
South Jersey, yeah, it was around the time.
drop kicking. I can't remember if it was Drake Younger or somebody out in the parking lot or out in the
Hey, Drake
backyard.
Younger could follow you on
Yeah,
social.
Drake Younger.
Oh,
Follow me on
there
True
you
Social
go.
at Murder My Dude.
Him
Sorry,
drop
Drake
kicking
worse.
him in a bear suit, and there's more to that story I know, but he didn't put it in the book, unfortunately. But yes, go listen to Mox's
There's a
book.
lot of wrestlers who can follow me on True Social.
His book is also on Amazon for $20, and it is up on Prime, and it's a hardcover for
Yeah.
Mox.
Mhm.
Or if you're okay with the digital audio script, you can get it for.
Yep, and you
Yeah,
can listen to
fraction
him tell the story. And it's just his voice is just amazing.
He's very good on Renee's podcast. when
He
he's on
is. He's very good
Oh,
narrating
why?
his own book.
I wonder why he's good on Renee's
there.
podcast.
No, because he.
I know.
Yeah.
No, I just.
No, he's literally good.
Yeah, yeah.
He
they
is
both
good.
are.
Yes,
Yeah.
No,
Mr. and Mrs. Good.
No,
I
you
just
missed the
never.
joke
I
there.
just never really took him as a personality, and then I listened to him on that. I'm like, oh, like I.
Oh, he's a personality.
Yeah.
That's a human.
You
there.
never saw him under the I-95 behind the ECW arena, did you?
No.
You have to look up John Moxley doing Point Break.
Yeah. Oh, that's his
But-
favorite movie.
But it's Point Break. He does an impression of Point Break, but
the remake.
It is Dusty Rhodes as Johnny Utah and Terry Funk as Bodie,
Mhm.
and it's great.
Yeah.
We should look that up after we're done here. And then
It's incredible.
my second recommendation or plug is Truth Behind the Illusion. If you enjoy Andy, Tony, and myself, we're talking Ghosts of Gettysburg this
Mhm.
Tuesday.
It's Legends of Hamburg.
Yeah.
Different
Legends
thing.
of Gettysburg,
Ghosts of Gettysburg, Legends of Hamburg.
Ghost of Hamburg.
Yeah.
That's
be
a new
le-
tag, that's a
we-
new tag team coming in.
We should do a show called Legends of Gettysburg. It's just people wrestling in Civil War gear. That'd be great.
It's pretty much the same thing. Anyway, IWEPnetwork.com. Like I said, if you made it this far, thank you guys so much. Follow us on all social media. Merch is out there. Patreon. If you can do $1 a month. If fucking
Is it back up, the Patreon?
Yeah, Patreon's back up. No one's on it, but it's only general support. We don't really give away bonus content or anything like that yet. We're working on it. We're trying to figure something out. Like I said, it is hard to do multiple podcasts and work and do everything. It's a challenge, but if you could support, it helps. We do have a lot of things that we use that cost money to keep the podcast going, like streaming services and audio editing and stuff like that. So any support would be great. If you can't, like I said, share, let people know this exists. Word of mouth has gotten us this far. Thank you for the continued support. You guys are absolutely fucking amazing. We love you to death.
You never
And,
hear about word of another body. You never hear about word of ear.
word of ear. And
Or word of eyes.
Word of eyes. Yeah.
I watched a video today. I'm gonna the person who made it. They're never gonna listen, but they made a video for the new Farlows.
Oh,
And I respect them. They're a good person. They make a lot of good content in the area. But he said in the video that the controversy of Farlow's is where's the meat on the sandwich. And he says, I don't like a lot of meat in my sandwiches. I rather, pay more money and have less meat. And
What?
Yeah, that's essentially what the video was about. Is that
okay.
we should get charged more. Or if you want an old school Farlow's, like the more meat option,
Yeah.
you can add it on, but it's not the same. It's more money for the less meat sandwich for the new.
no comment.
Yeah,
It's already more money.
yeah, and less meat.
Yeah. I know.
lot of-
35-minute wait
A lot
Oh,
of
I've heard.
a lot of
for a
people-
cold cut sandwich.
yeah, a lot of people don't like when there's a lot of meat on their.
It's better if you wait. It builds anticipation.
Yeah,
Waiting
I
for
I
less
get
is
that too
better.
from people that say they don't want to buy a cube because they don't need 24 cans of soda. And I'll say, but the cube is cheaper than the 2 12-packs you're buying.
listen, I'm all about more bang for my buck. Even if I can't finish the entire sandwich,
I
I'll cut it
take
small
the
in
rest-
half and
I
take the
honestly
rest
didn't
home.
know
And
they
throw it in
made
the
the cube
garbage.
anymore.
Yeah.
So
I hate that. I don't need all that. Yeah, but you get all that for less.
R.I.P. Farlow's.
Yeah. Hey, go to Hoagie House in Myersville. Very good.
Hey, Utah, get me 2 meatball sandwiches. Utah, get me 2.
Utah, give me 2.
I love you guys. We'll see you guys next week. Right?
I am an FBI
Bye-bye.
agent, baby.